Live from beautiful downtown Bastrop, it's time for the Stage Select, starring Julian, Titus, and Justin Hamm.
What could this possibly be? Seems a lot like a podcast. Wonder what specifically. Talking about video games. With your hosts, you're in good hands. Not more of the same. Now we'll jump right in. So expect the unexpected and more. Now we'll get grooving. Never know who's gonna walk through the door. There just might be some tragedy. It's just having fun with a special guest. Time for Stage Select.
And here are your hosts, Julian, Titus, and Justin Hamm.
Welcome, one and all, to the Stage Select. I'm Julian Titus.
And I'm Justin Hamm. Julian, it happened.
You got all the men's?
Yes, I did.
Congratulations.
And I sent you photographic proof of it on your telephone. Hopefully it comes through. Just so
I
everybody...
did receive something on my telephone from you.
That's good. That's good. That's what I want to see.
That's 12 men's.
That's 12 men. They are all different men.
Mhm.
Finally tracked down that last guy. My childlike glee at finding him was unrivaled. Practically, couldn't get the label off quick enough when I noticed what it was. And it's funny because, whenever I would pick out once I got to the final 2 or 3 of them, I started trying to feel it out a little bit. Like I told you, I was trying to do the tricks to try to find them. That wasn't really working. And then eventually I was like, no, I'm going to trust my gut as to which one it is. And I'm just going to kind of I'm like, okay, I think it's this one. And I was constantly wrong. And finally I just was like, you know what? I'm just going to get a Coke because I want a Coke. So I just grabbed one, and that's the guy. That was the guy. That was there. He was.
You have to not want it.
You have to not want it. You have to practically give up to find them.
It's just
all.
like dating. You have to decide that you aren't looking, and that's when the right person will fall into your lap.
That's kind of the story of my life right there, actually. But yeah, it's as weird as that is. It's kind of true. Yeah. So yeah, I got all the men. I'm very happy about it. They're in a.
I'm happy for you.
Yeah, thank you. I don't know what I'm going to do with them all, but I have them now.
Yeah,
it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
And I guess on that mentality, I really couldn't care less about having sex again before I die.
Oh, fair enough.
Done with it.
Yeah.
So yeah. Not looking for it.
There you go. Now you're thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good card to play. I like it.
I gotta say, I was looking at those stickers. I give them about 60% as far as good photos for those stickers.
I love. Okay, so the last guy is that I was looking for is the guy on the bottom right corner.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah,
yeah.
And he just has his hands above his head, and I'm like, that's the photo they picked for him. He just looked distraught and confused, and it's amazing.
There's a decent handful of them that are they look like kind of they're really celebrating a big moment or something, and then a couple where they're just kind of
I'm
just
here.
smiling normally, and
I'm
it's
here.
That's not a really good action shot.
Yeah, well, that's what happens.
What are you gonna do?
Yep, that's what happens. But
well, I'm glad that you finally got all your men.
I got all the men. I found them all, and
I'm glad that John Gholson is back on duty as our announcer. That was really nice to hear.
Yeah, that's also big news. Big news all around on this podcast. Big news.
You could feel the energy in the audience is different than the last couple of weeks, so that's good.
That's right.
You like
that's
to
what
see
happens when you assemble 12 men.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do we have the title that early in this episode?
We very well
see.
might. That's what happens when you assemble 12 men. I like it.
Yes.
No, it's got a good ring to it.
It's the sequel to 12 Angry Men.
Yeah.
It's 12 soccer men.
I constantly was thinking about that movie every time I was trying to find all 12 of these men, because I was like, I'll practically have a murder trial jury on my hands here. It'll be great. They're all from different countries, and they play soccer. I don't know. I don't know if that's good for a murder trial. I don't know if you want soccer players or not.
I think it kind of depends on if the crime is soccer related or not.
Yeah. If it's soccer related, you do want those. Yeah.
Well, no, you don't want them if it's soccer related because they have like biases going in.
Yeah, but they know stuff already.
True.
Yeah. Maybe you just want, and you want multiples because if there's just one, then he gets to put his opinion, only his opinion counts,
Right.
Yeah. It's complicated.
I've
Anyway.
been wanting to rewatch 12 Angry Men recently. I've only seen it once and it was like, I think when I was in high school or something like that.
I was going to say, they showed us that movie in school.
I think that's where I might have seen it.
Yeah.
Actually.
And I don't think it was like the original one. But I think I've seen the original one. I think I might have seen both versions of it. And I think I think they played both of them in school for us. They're just like, here's the original one, and then here's the newer one. I can't remember who was in the newer one, but it was like one of those like TV actor guys that like never did really. It was, I feel like it had Tony Danza in it. I do remember it had Tony Danza in it, which is weird. He was the guy that like was just like, I just want to go to the ball game. That guy. That was what Tony Danza.
I wonder if it was a made for TV.
I think it was. Hold on.
I don't really associate Tony Danza with film.
No, neither do I.
Like theatrical film. I really associate him with Angela.
Yeah, right. Angry Men. I think it might have been. It was the 1997 Showtime remake. Yes. Okay. Which it had James Gandolfini was in that movie. Holy shit.
Oh, shit.
I didn't even know that. I kind of want to see
that now.
I don't. I like.
He'd be a great Angry Man.
It was 97, so it was before.
Like just before.
Yeah, just before Sopranos. So yeah. Now I'm trying to find a cast list of this. 1997 cast. No. I don't want the images. Who are they? Jack Lemmon is the guy I'm trying to think of. I can't remember what exact. Yeah, that guy. What did he do? He was in something. He was in a lot of stuff. A lot of old.
Jack Lemmon was all over the
Grumpy
place.
Old Men, all that stuff. Yeah, okay, yeah. But yeah, James Gandolfini was in that movie. George C. Scott. I don't really know who that is, but they were in it. Yeah, and Tony fucking Danza of all people. That's so weird. Yeah, it was fine. I remember it was fine. And that's that.
I wouldn't mind seeing that one, but I would. But if I'm going to rewatch it, I definitely want to revisit the.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So, quick update on the Throne wish list thing. I got the identity shit squared away, so
cool. All right,
gift cards work now. I have a couple up there for if you want to, because food is going to be an issue. Post surgery for sure.
Yeah,
but I also have to give very, very special thanks. So I just want to say off the bat, the Throne wish list was kind of intended for people who don't already support the show. It was like, here's an avenue for like, if you like what we do and you don't want to be on Patreon, you don't want to like join Coffee or whatever. Like this is like a different avenue.
Sure.
Didn't think anything of it. Really didn't expect anything to go off of the wish list.
Yeah.
That night before we even recorded, super champion Dennis Robertson.
Yeah, I figured that was coming. Yeah.
Yeah. I DM'd him and was like, you're insane, but I love you.
Yeah.
Because he grabbed, well, in addition to, I mean, he's the one that got the gift card that I had trouble redeeming at first.
Right.
That's good now. But he also grabbed Beast of Reincarnation, which is like, that's one of those like, what I'm expecting to be one of those like really good, like 7 out of 10s that I end up really digging that maybe doesn't
nobody else
get
likes.
a lot of traction. He grabbed me Trails in the Sky second chapter remake, which is probably my most anticipated game of the year, next to Onimusha for the rest of the year.
Or is that coming out?
No. So these are all pre-orders.
Okay.
but it gets done like it's so when you're putting together your Throne wish list, you can choose from like where it gets ordered, and so these are Amazon, so they're pre-orders, and they still get done. Although there's a little hiccup there, and I'll get to it in a second.
Okay.
And he picked up Wolverine for me, so
cool.
holy shit! Thank you very much.
Yeah.
That also really gives me, because I can probably afford 2 games in September.
Right.
If I'm maybe that might actually things are bad right now.
Yeah. Well.
But anyway, like Onimusha is definitely top of that list that I'm picking up for myself.
Uh-huh.
But then Philip PK Becker grabbed Control Resonant for me.
Oh, cool.
But then that one, there was some sort of problem with it where they said, "Oh, this one's out of stock. Do you want us to refund the gift?" I was like, "Yeah, definitely refund." And so then I was like, "Oh no, is it like you can't do pre-order stuff?"
Huh?
Because if so, I was like, "Oh, then all these other ones are gonna get refunded as well," which is fine. But I was just like, maybe I'm looking at this wrong. But then I looked in the notes and stuff, and it was like, no, they say, like, especially with Amazon, like pre-orders are typically good to go.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it was a thing where Control Resonant, because I remember like Alan Wake 2 initially didn't have a physical copy, right? So I'm wondering if Remedy is once again publishing their own stuff, if they didn't
make enough.
It's like there's limited quantities, and so maybe.
Well, that you wouldn't think that would matter for a pre-order though, unless it was like some sort of special edition, right? Because like special edition, you would only print so many of them. The scarcity is part of the collector's thing or whatever. But like you would figure the pre-orders so that you know how many people want it, and so you can make.
But I've been on that for years with the pre-order shit,
That's
right?
Fair.
Yeah, and so it could be a thing where. Since if they are publishing themselves, and I'm not sure what the situation is there, I could see a situation where they're like, okay, we only only allocated for like this many copies, and like that already went through or whatever. I don't know.
That is true. Yeah, especially with like Amazon stock, if you're going through
it could be a thing where they over and they realize, oh shit, there's no more.
We don't have any more.
Let's pull these back.
Yeah, or like Amazon only ordered so many pre-order ones or whatever, and they're all accounted for now. I don't know how that all works.
Yeah, it could be a myriad of things. So, I still really appreciate it, Philip. I appreciate the gesture. Awesome. There's other stuff up there now, but again, it's not a thing that is like expected. It's just like an avenue there, and I've put stuff that's like kind of secondary tier stuff where it's like, this is stuff that I would really like to play and talk about on the show, but not necessarily crucial as far as stuff that I'm planning on picking up right away for myself. And I don't plan on doing this for what am I trying to say? Like in perpetuity.
Sure.
Although there could be a fun part of it where it's like, hey, here's some games that I may not be getting around to, but if you want to hear us talk about them,
right, then
you can donate them to the show, and we'll talk about them. So we'll see with that, but really, because I'm pretty much of the mind that this year will be our last big Game of the Year deliberations. So I would to go out on a high note with that. I do have an idea for what we'll do for Game of the Year in the seasons beyond this year.
All right.
It'll still be fun. It'll still be something that gives us a break.
Yeah.
And something that we can preload like ahead of time and just have them come out while we're off.
Okay.
But the format will be very different because we won't actually be like awarding anything. It'll be more just like talking about our favorite games of the year in different ways.
Sure.
I'll tell you like off mic, and then we'll probably reveal it like on the season finale as far as like what we're gonna be planning on for that. Also, if you listen to what I say and you come up with like a way to tweak it or whatever. Yeah. So, but yeah, once again, super big thanks. I was blown away, not prepared for it. I just kind of expected to sit there, and it's also not going to be a thing where I'm like, what am I saying? Like,
you got this.
We all believe in my brain lately. I'm really starting to worry about myself. It's not a thing where I'm going to be like hyping the throne like every episode. It's in our link tree. That's where it is.
Yeah.
But if somebody picks something up off there, obviously I'm going to thank them on the air because it's like the least that I could do. So there's that. I do have a fun story before we get into games, Justin, that I think you might get a kick out of.
Okay.
So, friend of the show, John Gholson, got a last-minute audition last weekend.
Okay.
He actually had two, because I wanted to hang out with him because things have been kind of dire, and I was like, I don't. Oh no, wait, that was actually the weekend before. Well, I mean, I forget what started it off. Oh, that's what it was. I was planning on taking a bunch of stuff to our local Game Over video games to sell over the weekend, including my Switch 2. I haven't gotten around to that. I ended up getting lazy about it, but I'm going to have to do that very soon.
Right.
But I kind of wanted like him to come, I just want some company. And he was like, hey, were you going to do that Saturday? And it's like, oh, I was planning on doing it Sunday. And he's like, oh, that's actually not a great day for me. But Saturday, I was actually hoping. Basically, what ended up happening is he had this last minute audition and he needed the use of a house for the audition.
Okay, yeah.
And I was like, yeah, that's fine. You can come over and we can do that. So he came over and we filmed that stuff. It was just like some shots he had to do. I didn't have to read for him or anything. Right. I got to be cameraman. That was kind of fun.
That is fun.
And then he just kind of hung out for a while. But that same weekend he had this other audition. He was like, man, this audition is a lot and it's really short notice and I can't believe that this audition is asking for this. And so, Justin, at this point now, I feel that I have a pretty good handle on what the audition process looks like for an actor.
Makes sense.
And especially for commercials, right? And it's definitely a thing where it's usually like, okay, you're reading like just these lines, right? Like they'll give you the script and it's like it's not even like the entire commercial. It's just like the part that you're reading for and then whatever lines are wrapping around those lines, right? You usually don't even get like the full context of what the commercial is. Right. And even more so with like a TV spot or like a show, right? Yeah. Or a movie. It's a very small snippet of, when you're auditioning for like a small part. Yeah. And so those have always been like, we'll get them in decent handful of takes. Like it's not a lot, right? And the setup is usually very simple. It's like John has a green screen set or a gray screen setup, and he's got a lighting setup in his apartment, and I just kind of stand off to the side, give him like a place for him to direct his line of sight, and also if there's lines that I have to read, then it gives him that ability to play off of it. Easy peasy. This was for a restaurant. I have the permission to talk about this, but I can't say what the restaurant was for or anything like that. So right off the bat, they're asking for 5 scenes, basically. Okay. Yeah. Which is absurd for what this was. Sure. And it involved him getting hit with cheese in every single one of these 5 takes. Okay. And I mean like liquid cheese, not like getting like a piece of cheese like thrown at him. Liquid cheese. 5 times in different ways. Fair. And I'm like, even me, like not the working actor of the two of us. I'm like, why don't they just ask you to do one and you can do a bonus one if you want? Like, why all 5? You're and the way, and even the direction of the audition was like, they kind of want you to shoot the commercial for them, because they're actually like, oh, here you need to be on a riding lawnmower. I mean, he could fake it, right? Yeah. But to me, reading between the lines, I was like, they kind of want you to shoot the commercial. Okay. Dude, okay, first of all, I have to say, John is super game, and the biggest respect to him for going through with this. And his theory was, because like on paper, the type of person, the body type that they wanted for this ad is not John. He said like, yeah, I've had a couple auditions recently where it's been like very specifically not my body type. Yeah. But I think that I'm getting these because, casting directors like me and they kind of want to see, well, what can I bring to it or whatever. Sure. This, I think, was actually a new place that he was auditioning with. Okay. And so ultimately, he didn't turn it down because he was like, I think what happened here is that it's so last minute and it's so much work that a lot of people turned this down, and they're like, well, let's see if John will do it.
Yeah.
And ultimately he was like, I know I'm not going to get this, but I can impress the casting directors and like, you know, kind of, and I was like, yeah, you're going to show that like you're down for it.
Yeah.
Right. And John was down for it. So he got a tarp to put down on his carpet. He bought a squirt gun so that we could squirt cheese for some of the shots.
Okay.
He got a big ass can of like nacho cheese sauce, which then he mixed with water so that it would be
I was just
more
gonna
viscous.
say my questions. I have so many right now.
Ask your questions.
Yeah, okay, squirt gun for nacho cheese, is that working? Like, did it work? Like immediately?
It worked once you watered
he got
it like a really good consistency of cheese to water ratio to where it flowed very nicely.
Good. Okay. Yeah, because I was immediately like, that feels like it would be too thick for a squirt gun, especially
it absolutely
like
was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially like, you know, like I imagine you don't want to buy like an more expensive one either. Like you're getting like, you know, the little dollar store pistol or something, but I don't know.
He got something more elaborate than that. It was like a Nerf like pump action squirt gun.
So we're squirt super soaker type action here. Okay.
Almost. Yeah. Like I didn't ask him how much he spent on the gun, but we're definitely going to have to use that for something later down the line to really justify the cost.
Yeah.
So yeah, and like I said, 5 takes.
Sure.
So
yeah.
And he was like going in order. He was like, okay, I need to do it here and here. And basically we're like, we have to do it in like pretty much 1 take each because there's like, he had a limited amount of plain shirts that he could change in and out of.
That was going to be my next question is like, okay, how are you doing the wardrobe here? Because I imagine you have to be in the same clothes per every shot. Yeah.
So the first one we did was, let's see, was that the first one? Oh, we did the riding lawnmower first, where he's just pretending to be on a lawnmower.
Okay.
Oh no, that wasn't the first one. I'm sorry. I think the first one was the baby. So he like bundled up a towel to pretend that it was a baby.
Yeah.
Basically, it's this character asking for cheese,
right,
for the food that he's eating. So first, I had to hand him the food, which was actually it was a really fun shot, like his idea for it, because it's just like my hand just coming from out of frame, handing him the food while he's talking to the baby, and he's whispering, he's like, "Give me the cheese." I'm not going to say the exact line because it's I don't want people to figure it out when if they see this ad, because you know.
Yeah.
But I then had to like pour cheese on his shoulder, like from off camera, and then he had to dip the food in the cheese and then eat it. So that was 1 take there. Then there was the riding lawnmower one where he's pretending to be on a lawnmower, and that's the one where I had to squirt him with the cheese like in the mouth.
Right.
So that was fun. We actually did that a couple times because like I didn't realize the mechanic of how the gun was working. I thought you had to do it very quickly.
Yeah.
But it was like a slow pump type thing.
Oh yeah, okay.
Giggity.
Yeah.
So thankfully he was able to like clean up just enough to where it didn't look too sloppy, and then we did it again. I'm trying to think what the fourth one, or wait, that was the second one. What was the third and fourth one? Man. Yeah, I don't remember the other 2 shots.
Okay.
The last one was him in the shower where he's eating the food and he's singing to the food and he gets like hit with the cheese.
Uh-huh.
And then the first shot was actually he's just eating, and then he asks for the cheese and it comes from out of nowhere and it lands on him and he's like and then he asks for it again and then it pours on him some more. So
sure.
that was the first shot.
Okay.
And I think that's how it escalates. It's like, now he's aware
makes
that the
sense.
cheese.
Yeah, now I see why you said you're essentially shooting the commercial, because
exactly. Yeah. And it's very much like if you remember, You Can't Do That on Television back on Nickelodeon. It's like the same kind of premise where, you know, on You Can't Do That on Television, if you said water, you got splashed with water.
Right.
If you said I don't know, you get slimed. Here it's like you ask for the cheese, you get the cheese.
Right.
But you never know exactly how the cheese is going to be distributed. I think that's the gag. So so the last shot is like he's in the shower, he has the food for some reason, and then he gets hit with the the cheese first, and then he starts singing about getting hit with the cheese, and then he gets hit with it again. And I gotta say, man, John had some excellent patience, because I fucked up on that last shot because I forgot to hit record 3 times.
Oh boy.
And then on the 4th one, we did it, and then he looked back, he was like, it's terrible. Like, I'm awful. Like, we have to do it again. I will say that, like, personally, and look, I obviously I can't be objective about this, right? He's one of my best friends, but I do try to look at it as just like, okay, like I do try to give legit feedback and stuff like that, right? I don't try to just blow smoke up his ass.
Yeah.
Because at the end he was like, do you think I was dumb for like saying yes to this? And I was like, no, I don't, because I actually think that there's a chance that you do get a callback.
You never know.
And you know, at the end of the day, it does show that how game you were to like do this on such a short notice. And the most important thing is that all of the takes are fun, because when we watched them all back, like I laughed at every single one.
Right.
And I did almost break a couple times when we were filming. Like I had to hold it in while the camera was rolling.
Right.
I think ultimately it was a good decision for him to do it.
Right.
He hasn't said anything about it, so I'm guessing that he didn't get a callback or anything like that, because I think he would have heard by now if there was a callback coming.
Imagine, yeah.
But what a wild audition.
Yeah.
The idea of like douse yourself with cheese in various ways 5 times.
Yeah. You got to be
for
really...
an audition that's also like basically the acting equivalent of minimum wage.
Yeah. Okay.
Like it wasn't even like a big payday type of ad.
Yeah. Wow. Huh.
Crazy.
That is pretty nuts.
You know, I really respect John as an actor, and watching him go through that was like, I was like, man, yeah, this is going to be a thing that you're going to have fun telling on like a talk show couch,
right?
One day.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Interesting.
Oh man,
that sounds fun in its own way.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
Again, I felt bad because I beefed on a couple of those.
Well, it happens.
But we got the shots, and you know that at the end of the day, that's the important thing.
Indeed.
Yeah. So this was almost going to be a completely non-video game
edition. It was almost, yeah. According to Julian, yeah, it almost was.
Yeah, because Justin didn't get a chance to play anything this week, and then I had told myself there's no point in talking about The Devil in Me or Dredge again until I finish them, because it would kind of just be like, yeah, I'm still playing those, they're still good.
Sure.
But I did finish both of those games this week. So I'll talk about The Devil in Me first.
Okay.
I ultimately, it's really close. I'm like neck and neck with it and House of Ashes for which of this first season of the Dark Pictures anthology I like the most.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah. I think I probably lean a little closer to House of Ashes because there's more ambiguity on what's going on for a large portion of the story, where it's pretty clear right from the jump what's going on with The Devil in Me, which is, hey, there's this copycat serial killer that has trapped you in a place what like H.H. Holmes had back in the day, and he's just recreating those crimes as best he can. And it's like, okay, like I understood, totally get it. But I do like the way that The Devil in Me plays really well. I also, one thing that I noticed is that now after playing both of these back to back, there was something about the timing of the QuickTime events in House of Ashes is actually weird, because I had no problem with them in The Devil in Me.
Okay, I don't feel as bad then, because I felt like that one especially, like I would get to certain QuickTime events and I'd be like, what the fuck? Like that, something was wrong with that. Like just timing wise, it felt weird.
They felt super fast.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah. Because my thing was like, I'm barely reading that there's a button on the screen. And by the time that I press it, there's like like the barest sliver left on the timer of
Right.
that button.
Right.
Where here it was like the button would show up and I'm hitting it right around the halfway point on the timer.
There,
And I'm like, okay,
That-
that feels correct.
that feels correct. Right.
So that was nice. I'm a little salty. I got 2 people killed out of 5 on this one.
Gotcha.
I'm a little salty about the first one in hindsight. Last episode I said that I'd gotten somebody killed, which at the time I was like, oh, that was actually kind of cool.
Okay.
And initially it was, but looking back, I'm like, all right, based on the information that I had at the time, I feel that I made the correct choice.
Sure.
Because basically what it was is that you would hear one of the other characters saying, you should go hide. And I'm like, I know that this person is manipulating sound and recordings in a way to fuck with us. And I don't, it doesn't make any sense that like this other person would be seeing what I'm going through and be able to tell me to hide. Therefore, that is the trick. So I'm going to do the opposite of that. And that ended up being wrong. And I'm like that. No, because it was also like, because I was like, okay, is there going to be a part where we saw that they were actually watching this character on camera and trying to say something? No. It's just this weird unexplained thing of why would I have heard that from this character from a different room entirely, like not in this area.
Right.
And I'm like, I call bullshit on that one.
Yeah, they probably just didn't want to do it over again or whatever. At least there's no like scenario like in the quarry. The quarry has one specific thing that I remember being kind of pissed off about. There's one character that will, if you get what
I just want to say, be very vague because it's next on my docket.
Okay, I will.
Okay,
If a character dies, another character is guaranteed to die.
Yeah, when I saw how big the cast of the quarry is, that was a worry that I had as well.
And it feels cheap. Like, to be fair, when you get to that part, you won't know that that's what's supposed to happen, or whatever. You there's no way to really feel it out or whatever. But like,
right
when you find out what it is exactly, it's like, oh, that kind of fucking sucks, actually. So yeah.
Yeah, and here I was worried about that as well because I'd seen like a premonition where it was like, oh, like all together, and it was like the character that I got killed and one of the other characters, and I was like, oh shit, because she's gone, is this other character just doomed to die?
Right.
And thankfully that was not the case.
That's good.
Again, I think it's because the cast is so small on this one.
Right.
Because it's just the
Very
5
well
characters. Because like House of Ashes, there's like 5 core characters that affect like if everybody survives or not. But there were other characters in addition to that I think there's scenarios where like they can live longer in the story depending on your actions, but they are going to ultimately die.
Yeah.
But it kind of kept you guessing as far as like who's
are
actually
your main
people.
cast. Yeah,
which I really liked that.
I always liked that.
Yeah, here with it just being the 5, it was like, okay, clearly this is the cast that I have to take care of. The second character, that was on me because I realized I was like, right, these games there are times where it's like the best course of action is in action.
Yeah.
And I did kind of make a panic decision.
Oh yeah.
And definitely fell into that trap of like, okay, no, that's totally on me.
Yeah.
Like I should have known better. I don't know I can't really think of what the outcome would have been if I didn't do anything in that part because it seemed like it was definitely an either or situation, but who knows, right?
Yeah, hard to say.
I do think that like with the supermassive games, well, I wonder what their goal is as far as the end user, because to me, I play all these games the same way that I played Heavy Rain, and like all the Quantic Dream games, because I always remember David Cage saying that like when Heavy Rain was coming out, he was like, I only want you to play this game once.
Sure. Because
I want that to be your version of Heavy Rain.
Fair enough.
And I kind of took that to heart. I played it and I was like, that was my experience. And I've played That's the way that I played Beyond Two Souls. That's the way that I played Detroit.
Yeah.
I was like, this is even with Detroit being like very like it had like you could go back and like see the timeline.
Oh,
and
it's
stuff like that.
Detroit has a lot of different ways it can branch off. It's actually really cool in that way.
It is,
Yeah.
but I was like, but this is my Detroit. This is the way
Sure.
that the story went for me.
Mm.
And that's the way that I've approached the Supermassive games as well, is, you know, it's like I've got one shot. Like I either like either everybody gets through or I lost some people along the way, and that like I'm gonna it's sort of like Baldur's Gate 3, right?
Yeah.
It's like I'm gonna play it the way that the dice rolled.
Yeah.
And that's my story.
Yeah.
But there are so many different ways that things can go.
Mhm.
And, you know, if you are like a big trophy hunter, you kind of have to play that game like 2 or 3 times.
Most like people that I watched on like YouTube that are into those games always play them like 3 times. One where they'll play it like straight through, see what happens. One where they try to save everybody, and then one where they try to kill everybody.
Right.
And that's
because this one actually has, I think, 4 endings.
I don't doubt that. Yeah.
Yeah, because there's everybody lives, everybody dies. Oh wait, no, maybe it is. Oh, and there's like the in between ending,
Right.
And then there's a kind of hidden ending where like someone else that wasn't part of the group makes it to the end.
Okay.
Which is kind of fun. But yeah, overall, I really enjoyed it, and I was not aware because I fell off of paying attention to Supermassive stuff. Like I could, because I only played for the longest time Man of Medan. At a certain point, I got so far behind, and I was like, I don't even really know if they're still doing the Dark Pictures
Yeah.
stuff, because I wasn't sure if like the Quarry was part of that or not.
It's weird. It's not, but
It's not.
But Directive 8020 is somehow, but the guy isn't in it. It's weird. Like it has.
Well, apparently he is.
Is he? Oh well,
so
stay tuned.
listening to TV
Okay.
on Nerds of Broadcast, he's there almost as a hidden feature.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, it's like you have to find like secrets, but part of that might have to do with the fact that the actor has passed away.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, I didn't either
That's
until I was
sad.
listening to.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if they're going to like recast, because there's definitely there's enough weird stuff with the curator that you could absolutely recast,
Sure,
and have
yeah.
that be part of the narrative,
Right.
Because like at the end of Devil and Me, like this is a minor spoiler. This isn't like part of the actual narrative. It's more of like curator stuff.
Mm.
But he's talking to you, and then there's like a banging on the library door, and like the place rumbles.
Yeah.
And he just kind of looks, and he doesn't really acknowledge it. And it's like, okay, there's like,
Huh.
you know, you're right to have this like uneasy feeling whenever you're with the curator, and it's cool that like they're playing into that with this meta narrative and stuff. So
That is cool.
yeah, I could totally see a scenario where it's almost like Matrix Revolution, right?
Sure.
Where by the time they got to that 3rd movie, the actress who played the Oracle had passed away, but they actually comment on it in the movie, where it's like she got attacked by the Merovingian and she got like recoded, and now she has this different face. So you can play around with that in a way that could actually be pretty cool.
Yeah.
and add to the overall like
Agree.
horror narrative.
Yeah.
But I did really like the trailer for Directive 8020 that I saw at the end of Devil and Me, because it was very much like, this is the end of season 1. Directive 8020 is the premiere of season 2. And I was
Right.
like, oh, that's pretty clear cut. But then all of the marketing leading up to Directive 8020, like all the trailers that I saw, no mention.
Really got
of
yeah.
the
That's
Dark
I didn't
Pictures.
even know it was part of it until like I was either playing it or right before then. I think you might have told me like, no, it's actually, I think it has all that stuff in it. I was like, oh, somebody did. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was me.
Yeah,
who
I think
told
it was
that.
you.
Because I had heard TV talking
Right.
about it.
Yeah.
But do you recall, does it say Dark Pictures on the title screen when
It
you
does.
started up?
Yeah.
It does.
It does.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a little weird. Because look, Supermassive is one of those studios that I respect the hell out of, but much like Platinum, it's like, how are y'all still in business?
Yeah.
Because people aren't buying your games in, like, every time that I hear about a Supermassive game, it's like, oh, it didn't really sell all that well. It's like,
Yeah.
Until Dawn sold really well.
Yeah.
and they kind of haven't had a hit since. Well, I think the Quarry might have done.
Corey, I don't know. I've got no idea. Yeah.
I think I might recall hearing that one did pretty okay. And maybe it was because it was like not part of the Dark Pictures thing where people felt that they didn't need to play all these other games.
The other things. Yeah. When you start doing stuff like that, as cool as it is, man, it really does make people get in that kind of mentality where they have to play all the other ones before it. And so, yeah, who knows? Maybe Man of Medan after the fact sold a ton of them because people were like, well, I should, I'll just start. That one looks really cool. Maybe I'll start here. They just kept buying Man of Medan or something on sale. I don't know. Yeah, that'd be interesting. The other thing they do have going for them is that I'm guessing they have going for them is it seems like they're kind of reusing assets and stuff a lot. Like, a lot of the actors in those games are like the same and stuff like that. So they probably already have like the scans. Like I know, the one guy, he's I forgot his name in House of Ashes, but he's in Directive 8020. He's like the first guy you play as in Directive 8020.
Would it possibly be the Iraqi soldier?
No.
Okay. Cause he was in, had a small part in Devil and Me. I was like, oh, that's kind of funny.
Yeah, no. He's one of the main characters that you play as. Had the hat. I want to say his name's Jason or something like that.
The real Ura guy.
Yes.
I liked his arc because he starts off as like very
arc. Yes.
Yeah, because he's like, oh, you're the enemy, blah blah blah, and then by the end of it, he's like, oh, actually, no, he's one of us. Like, yeah. It was cool to see.
Yeah, he was actually pretty cool. That guy, he was in like Directive 8020, and I've noticed that a few times where it's like, that guy was in this one. So, and
of course, like the curator's library, right? Like that's the same.
You don't have to.
Every game.
Yeah, you don't have to really redo a lot of stuff there. I almost imagine it like kind of like a dragon type thing where they're just kind of reusing certain things here and there to cobble together stuff, and maybe that's helping. I don't know.
Hard to say.
Really is.
And they also I think the Quarry was like a full price game, but all of the other ones have been like lower price.
They're pretty low
points.
Price, yeah. So
but I do get that mentality because even though it is a true anthology where it's like they're very they're all standalone stories.
Yeah.
The only connective tissue is the curator stuff, and it's very minimal what you get from carrying a save file over, as I mentioned last week. But there, even me, right? It's like I was like, no, I need to play all of these.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is that I picked up this one and the Quarry on deep discount. So
sure,
like that's kind of coming up soon-ish on my docket as far as playing stuff.
Right.
But yeah, so all said and done, I think that the Dark Pictures season 1 started kind of tepid because like I thought Man of Medan was fine, and then Little Hope was like kind of not. I mean, it was really disappointing.
Little Hope,
yeah. But then House of Ashes was great, and I thought Devil in Me was great. So
okay, good.
And I've heard conflicting things about Directive 8020. I've heard like really really high praise, and I've also heard kind of more your takes on it as well.
Yeah, but to be fair, mine are like initial early take and then I kind of stopped. So we're at the point now that if we go back to it, we're just going to start over again and be like, oh yeah, we're going to turn that rewind feature on because there's stealth and I'm bad at it. So that doesn't feel good.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Because I think I forget who was talking about. I want to say it might have been Nextlander, because apparently like the characters that you start with are not like part of the main cast.
Oh, I don't.
But they're also kind of not very interesting or likable compared to the main cast.
I believe it. Yeah.
So that might have been part of the reason that you were having trouble like getting into it, because
that's entirely possible. Yeah.
Yeah. Because it doesn't give like the best first impression.
No, it does not.
Yeah. But that is The Devil in Me. Really enjoyed it. Looking forward to playing the Quarry. I don't know if that's going to be my next game, but I got both of them pretty cheap. So
yeah.
I'm really enjoying actually kind of because right now there isn't like a lot of new stuff anyway that I'm interested in.
Sure.
Or can afford, and
Yeah.
Well, really, it has been that, like, because the only thing that I was really interested in that was like relatively recent was the Adventures of Elliot.
Okay. Yeah.
And I didn't end up getting that pre-order, but I've been enjoying kind of this little lull, because I might have to go ahead and mark Saros and Crimson Desert as abandoned, because I've never felt like I really want to jump back into them. Like, I actually did delete them from my hard drive recently, because I was like, I do this thing where it's like, okay, let me see if I delete some games, what pops up on my PlayStation 5 bar that I've forgotten is on here.
Right.
I also want to pick up, like, start playing some backlog stuff.
Right.
But here it's just like, this is like games that I've missed over the past, handful of years that I intended to play, and I found them, on discount, and so that's been kind of fun. Like Dredge, which I went ahead and finished. That was one of those games, much like Dave the Diver, where for a hot second I was like, oh, am I going to do everything in this game? Am I going to get the platinum for this? But then ultimately it's like the overall, like, especially with Dredge, because things start to get just annoying enough towards the end, where it's like, okay, like navigating around this area is more annoying than it is challenging, because it's like there's these fish that will kind of glom onto your boat and slow you down, and then if too many of them glom onto you, they summon this large fish that does like big damage to you. Unless you like sail over like there's like, it's this volcanic area where there's a bunch of like little fissures coming up from the ocean.
Right.
So if you sail over there, it scorches the fish and they run away. But
Okay.
there's enough of them in the area that it just becomes kind of a slog to navigate. And so when you're trying to fish and then you're getting damaged, which then causes you to lose fish or have to spend half of the money that you just earned on fixing your ship, it's like, okay, yeah, I don't know if I want to keep going for like all these fish and side quests, because like some of the side quests were like, I have to deliver like this specific fish to this person,
Right.
but I couldn't find that fish, and it just, I was like, okay, I don't think I'm gonna do all of this, but
Right.
it is a really interesting story. It kept me guessing right up towards the end. It's got like a really cool, like that unsettling vibe that the game starts with stays throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
I doubled down on what I said last week, which is I wish that it got weirder and creepier.
Okay.
Because it never, like, I wanted to see like some fucked up shit.
Sure. Yeah.
Like when I was out late at night, or like see like some massive sea leviathans, like Subnautica style,
I get
like
ya.
coming from my little dinghy, like at 3 a.m. or whatnot. But it never gets that crazy.
Yeah.
And that was a little bit of a disappointment for me. I did both of the endings, and basically there's kind of like an evil ending and a less like a more, neither of the endings are good.
Sure.
Like the outcome is not good on either ending, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
But one of them is clearly like an evil ending, and the other is more of a again, not a good ending, but more noble ending.
Sure. Yeah.
And I think I actually like the evil ending more because it's more fucked up.
Okay.
I was like, I'm going to remember this final image for a while. Where the other ending, I was like, okay, yeah, I guess that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Got ya.
But it does have a really fun loop. I'm really glad that I played it, and kudos to Dave the Diver for doing that DLC and then causing me to buy Dredge.
There you go.
Because I remember after you played it, I was like, oh, I guess I don't have to touch that.
Yeah.
And I just kind of wrote it off, because it was also one of those things where it was like similar to Dave the Diver, where I also didn't hear like a lot of people that I pay attention to like mention it much after the game came out.
Right.
So I was like, okay, this seems to be the one that I can easily skip and not worry about.
Yeah.
And unlike Dave the Diver, I don't think that if I had played Dredge the year that it came out, it would have impacted my personal list at all.
Sure, yeah.
It wouldn't have been something that I was like going to bat for on our combined list. if I don't even remember when Dredge came out. It might have been pre the stage select. I'm not sure.
Oh man, I can't remember either now that I think about it. Yeah, it's been a while.
That might have still been NWP days. Regardless,
It might have been.
It's not something that I would have been like so high on that it made it onto my list, but I am super, super glad that I played it.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. And it was, it's been nice to cross some games, not cross games off the list, but just like,
Sure.
add some completed games to the list. Cause I'm now at like 25 total. I think I'm at 11 2026 releases finished.
Yeah.
But 25 total. And it's actually closer to 30 something if I'm counting the adult games,
Yeah.
but I always count those separately. So that's it for me with games. But before we move on to our movies, I think it is time, because it might be the last time, at least for a while, for the return of everybody's favorite segment.
Will we cringe?
Yeah.
So thank you, everybody. Thank you. No, I know you love it. I know you're going to miss it.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine. So, simmer down. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, there we go. Okay. Thank you. Yes, so this is Will We Cringe, the segment where I go back to an issue of PlayStation Revolution, my high school fanzine that I wrote.
Yeah.
To read one of my reviews
All right.
from 1996.
Here we go.
And, well, actually 1997, like early 1997, but they're 96 releases.
Mm.
And see if we cringe when I reread these reviews.
Yeah.
So this is the penultimate one from this issue, Justin.
All right.
I feel that I have another issue of this, like, skulking about somewhere, but I don't know where it is right now. So for all intents and purposes, this is the next to last of this segment.
Okay.
I know you're all disappointed. It is what it is.
It is sad.
So for this game, I reviewed Suikoden.
Oh boy.
Developer, Konami.
Mm-hmm.
Publisher, Konami. Players, 1. Difficulty, intermediate.
I still always laugh at the players thing. That shit kills me every time. I don't know why.
It was the style of the time,
I know
Justin.
it was. Yeah, I know. It just is really funny.
Let me tell you a secret. I need RPGs to live. In addition to a healthy diet of Street Fighter, Doom, and Tomb Raider, I have a lust for party-driven quests. Okay, let's review the RPGs on PlayStation. Let's see. We can't count Kingsfield. That's a dungeon maze game. I won't mention Beyond the Beyond because I like it just a little bit more than Alone in the Dark 2, which means that the issue before this was the issue where I reviewed Alone in the Dark 2 on the PlayStation, which I gave 12 out of 100.
Wow.
Fucking hated that game.
Yeah, you hated that.
Yeah. Okay, that leaves nothing. I did put a gasp.
That is gasp. Yeah.
Yes. No wonder why I'm starving. Therefore, I must be seeing things because I'm playing the best RPG since FF3 on my PS. Should have been Super Nintendo. I can't believe that typo made it all the way through to the printing process, but here we are.
Well, here we are.
To sum up the plot, Suikoden is Japanese for the water margin story. It is based on an old Chinese fable of 108 warriors who battle against an oppressive empire. This holds true in the game, where you, as a young warrior, become the leader of a small band of freedom fighters. You journey the world, recruiting people and liberating towns.
Mm-hmm.
This story has teeth, and though I hate this trend of main characters that don't talk, you do get to choose the hero's responses. The game really gets good once you get your castle. You name it yourself, choose who lives there, and it grows throughout the game. With 8 hours of play, I had an inn, a bank, elevator, personal blacksmith, and ship. The overhead graphics are admittedly 16-bit, but the battles more than make up for it, with stunning backgrounds and amazing magic effects. There are 3 battle types: party, strategy battle, and one-on-one. Sounding more like a preview than a review, Julian.
Really, yeah.
God damn.
Yeah.
The strategy is no Warcraft, but cool nevertheless. I didn't even play Warcraft. Ugh. The one-on-one is great.
That's pretty fun.
With SF-type life bars, don't abbreviate, and the ability to attack, parry, and do desperation attacks. The equipping process is the only bad part of the game, and is very annoying. But I'll manage.
Yeah.
I fully recommend this game. Its excellent graphics, characters, soundtrack, and story pulled together for a game that is much more than a holdover until FF7.
Mhm.
Who, knows, perhaps this PS RPG shortage is over. Graphics, 8. Music, 10. Challenge, NA. Wait, that's challenge. I gotta go back to my rubric. What was C? Controls. Right. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Originality, 10. Fun factor, 10. Replay value, 10. For a score of 97 out of 100, Justin. Another just all-timer of the video game.
I mean, to be fair, I like Suikoden still.
No, it's great. Yeah,
I feel like that review made you cringe a lot more than it made a lot of other people, which is fun.
Yes,
just because of all the weird little mistakes in it. That's great.
That and also just like stuff that as a person who continued to write video game reviews for a long time since, I'm like, oh, you're fucking up, bud.
Yeah. No, it's good. Also, I respect that even back then you still had a hatred for non-speaking protagonists. That much respect for that. Much respect for that. Yeah.
Whatever the first game where I experienced that was, it might have been Chrono Trigger. Actually,
it could have been.
There's a reason. There's multiple reasons. There's reasons why in the Chrono Trigger versus Final Fantasy VI debate, I'm always Final Fantasy VI.
Sure.
And Chrono Trigger doesn't even, like, when I'm talking about like Super Nintendo RPGs, it's like 4th or 5th for me.
Okay.
And I know that's like sacrilege to a lot of people.
To a lot of people, yeah.
But yeah, the mute character, the name, like, I know this is nitpicking, but like I hated the names of the characters. It's
Sure.
like, oh, I've got a robot named Robo. I've got a frog character named Frog.
Yeah.
Wow, guys, you really knocked it out of the park there.
Killed it.
I'm not a huge fan of like some of the character designs. I know it's Toriyama, but like I was just like, whatever.
Yeah.
I think a big part of it was like the mute main character and the 3-member party, right? Like, coming from Final Fantasy IV being my first like big RPG with 5 characters in your party.
Oh, right.
And then 6 having 4, I was like, okay, this doesn't feel as interesting. I mean, obviously you have the triple attacks and stuff, which is very cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's just like there's enough stuff in there where I'm like, yeah, like I can acknowledge how important it is and how great it is. But like for me, there are other RPGs of the time that I had way more fun with and think of more fondly.
Yeah, fair enough.
And part of it also might have to do with like a backlash of like people just like glazing that game into infinity for the last 30 years. Yeah. Similar to how I feel about Final Fantasy VII, where like a lot of, I always say that like Final Fantasy VII fans kind of turned me on Final Fantasy VII over the years.
And now, Video Game Masterpiece Theater, with your host, Thaddeus Wimpleshire.
Good evening. I am Thaddeus Wimpleshire. If you had control of the very concept of time itself, what would you do with it? Change an unfortunate past? Prevent a catastrophic future? For Mobius, the time streamer, there is only one answer. Make the universe your playground. From the 1996 game, Blood Omen, Legacy of Kain. Please enjoy this battle of wit and riddles between Mobius and the titular Kain. Playing Mobius is the ever-alert Abramo. The role of Kain is brought to life by the electric and fiery delivery that only Julian Titus can achieve. And now, Blood Omen.
A nobleman seeking wisdom? Yeah, okay, death has taught you well.
Enough philosophy. I seek answers.
answers indeed. Okay, I have them all. If you have the questions, okay, and what are the answers to these questions? King Atmar, the only hope to defeat the legions of the Nemesis, okay? King Atmar, paralyzed by his princess malaise. King Atmar, the useless. This guy, man. Pray, good sir. What are the questions, man?
A pox upon your tricks and babble, old man. Answer me this. Who is Malik, and how can I defeat him?
All in times, Sira. Yes, time. Unless you master it, it will master you, you know? And now it's time for you to answer, okay? Malik, you know, that guy, defender of the Nine, and last of the Seraphan sorcerer priests. Okay, you know about them. His vanity led to the slaughter of the Circle Man at the hands of the vampire Vorador. And for his failing, his spirit was fused to a set of hellish magical armor, okay? And he has allowed no member of the Circle to fall since, okay?
What of this Vorador?
Follow the glow of the Ignus Fatis to the Termagant Forest, okay?
Ignis Fatuus?
The Ignis Fatuus lights the path to hell, nobleman, okay? Your path, dude, okay? Time, Kane? Next time, man.
This has been another installment of Video Game Masterpiece Theater with your host, Thaddeus Whippleshire.
But yeah, that is it for me for video games.
All right.
We both watched movies. I watched a shit ton of movies. How do you want to fuck this pig, Justin?
I don't know. We can go back and forth if you want. I don't care.
Yeah, that sounds good.
You want to do that? All right. I'll start since you had video games and I did not.
Sounds good.
Let's see. I have them all written down. I'll start with the movie I watched today because I think I talked about it either last week or the week before. But we finally finished it, Julian. We watched The Strangers Part 3.
Oh, there we go.
You don't have to watch The Strangers Part 3. What a piece of...
I wasn't going to watch The Strangers Part 1 through 4.
Oh, no, there's only 3.
No, but wasn't there like 2 of them
there's
before?
There's 2 before the first and second and third part. So there's 5 fucking movies altogether.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man. That movie's just boring, really. The third one. It's just really boring. It's like they have like, I don't know. It's not really that interesting of a concept to begin with. And they're trying
it's kind of the same every time, isn't it?
Yeah, that's kind of the problem. And so they're trying to jazz it up. They're trying to like add like, oh man, what if it had this like cool, elaborate little backstory and stuff? That's great, right? That's what you want to do. And it's like, no, it's just not very good. There's just not really, I don't know. It's just really boring. Like the second one just kept making me laugh because like it just had some really funny tropes in it. Like every time somebody had something important to tell the main character, they would inevitably be shot by a crossbow or something. Like every single time, and that was funny. Like every time. This one doesn't really have that. It's just kind of like once you get what they're doing, you're kind of like, okay, I can kind of see how this is going to go. And then they kind of try to swerve it at the end, but they just kind of leave it vague. And it's like, okay, well, that just sucked. Bad movie, man. Bad movie. Just don't watch the part 1, 2. Just let those die. Those are bad. Oh man, those are bad.
What was the reasoning behind? Well, we should watch the third one because we watched the other.
We
4.
watched the other 2.
Is that it? Well, I mean, you watched the other 4.
We watched the other. I watched all the Strangers movies. I watched the original.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like, even though this is the third of a trilogy, let's not forget that there were 2 before that. So
there were 2 before in this trilogy, and then there were 2 before. Yeah, there were 2 before the trilogy. So there's 5 movies altogether.
Right.
Pray at Night's okay. Like, that's an okay horror movie. It's not amazing, but it's okay. Like, there's actually some pretty cool shots in it. The soundtrack's actually pretty great. Like, the killers in it, the masked people, like, actually kind of come off like very imposing and like kind of like entertaining and interesting while not having any lines or anything like that. I was like, okay, this is actually pretty good. And they probably should have just stopped it there. They should have just never made another one of those. Like, that's my thinking on it. But then they were like, no, we need to make a trilogy of sorts. I don't know why, but yeah, our impetus for watching it was, well, we watched the other 2. We have to know, and we didn't have anything to watch tonight, so yeah.
I guess I was wondering if it was like you were not into it, but Kim was like, no, I need to know.
No, Lonnie and I talk about this a lot, and I love Kim to death for this. Kim just likes, like, it feels like she likes almost everything. Like, very few things, like, in the world does she, like, dislike. There are things, don't get me wrong, but, like,
hey, I am easily entertained as well. I'm not going to say anything.
She really, like, but, like, she genuinely, like, kind of has, like, she can find something to bring her joy. It's in right. Almost anything, and I love that about her. Whereas me, I'm just, like, watching everything. Like, I'm the person that when we talk about it later on that night, I'm like, she'll be like, that was pretty good, and I'm like, I don't know. Yeah, I'm just here to ruin her good time, and I always feel bad if I'm doing that. The movie, I'll put it like this: I usually, like, I will obviously, I say my true feelings on here, but, like, the movie has to be really bad or, like, really, like, offensive to me for me to do what I just did to her, because I don't want to ruin her good time most of the time. So I'm like, okay,
that's when I used to like spend a lot of time with my cousin David.
Yeah,
like when we were like late teenagers, like 16, 17. I think that's when I started to get, that's when I was writing my fanzine and getting more into, like, critiquing and stuff like that. And I remember, like, saying something about something that he was into, and he just kind of paused and he was like, why can't you just say you like it?
Yeah. Right. Like, a big thing for me, like, that I noticed with her was she couldn't remember the other 2 movies very well. Like, she would mention things, I'd be like, no, that was this one. And then she would start mentioning, but, like, that one scene by the pool, that was really cool. I was like, that was Pray at Night. That was the good one. That was that one. Like, you're thinking of the wrong movies. Like, these other 2 were so bad, you don't even remember them. That's how bad they are. And she was like, oh, well, we should just watch the third one, though. I was like, yeah, I guess we should. Fuck it. Why not? I honestly, for me, I was like, I want to see how bad this can get, actually, because these other 2 were pretty bad. But, like, I got to know how bad it's really, like, I got to know what shit solution they came up with. And I was like,
and also there's something to be said about the fact that, like, these movies have done well enough for there to be 5 of them.
Yeah.
So clearly some people saw something in this franchise.
I'm thinking this, like, new trilogy thing was, like, a straight to streaming type thing, but I don't actually fucking know if they had any sort of because when you look at the rating for it, it's rated TVMA, so I don't think they had any sort of theatrical release or anything like that. They just made them because they need to put something on this service. I don't know.
Right.
But yeah, those movies are not good. Pray at Night's okay. Like, and to anybody at all, like, randomly curious of, like, would I recommend one of them? It would be that one. Like, if you want, like, it's again, it's nothing amazing, but it's not bad. It's a fun, decent horror movie with some like, you know, brutal shit in it, which is, you know, fun for a horror movie. That would be the one. Just watch that one. Don't even like the first one's okay. Like it's an interesting concept. The first two are fine, but I would definitely recommend Prey at Night over all of them, really. And then definitely don't watch that trilogy. Holy shit. I feel like it ruins like it's so bad. If they ever made another one, I would really cast a side eye to it, because I feel like it's the type of shit that would just ruin an entire franchise for anybody that watches it. Like it's that bad. Yeah, shitty movies. And that's The Strangers Chapter 3. You don't need to watch The Strangers Chapter 3. Even Kim at the end of it was like, "Wow, that sucked." I was like, "Okay, yeah, there's my metric right there." Yeah. She was like,
she has a line.
She was like that. Like nothing happened. Like I was just waiting for something to happen, and then finally, I guess something kind of happens, but it sucked. And I was like, yeah, that's these movies. They're bad. Yeah. Anyway, what's a movie you watched, Julian?
All right. So here's what happened.
Okay.
When John was over last Saturday, he was like, because he'd been telling me, he'd been mentioning this for a while, but he was like, hold on, because the thing with John is like he's such a cinephile, and I'm that person who, if I don't see it in the theater, I tend to miss stuff very easily. So it'll be like we're talking, he's like, "Have you seen blah blah blah?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "Oh, you got to see blah blah blah," and that'll happen like 6 or 7 times, right, in the course of like an hour-long discussion. And he was like, "That's it. I'm just." Turn on your X. You watch your stuff on Xbox, right? I was like, yeah. And he was like, turn on your Xbox, like download the Fandango app. I'm just going to give you the credentials to log. Yeah. I'm just going to log in on there, and then you'll have access to my library.
There you go.
Just don't buy anything. I was like, oh, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
So I now have access to over 1,700 films.
Wow. Yeah.
John's been like kind of doing digital movies for like a very long time, where, you know, like if he would buy a DVD, he would redeem the digital code.
Oh, okay.
And they eventually all just went into this Fandango bucket or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's not like, you know, I mean, also he just buys a lot of movies.
Yeah,
so,
fair enough.
And a lot of bundles, a lot of sales, right? I think that storefront does like Steam style, like, oh, you can get like an entire franchise for like $5.
Cool.
Sometimes.
Okay.
You know, that type of shit.
That's pretty dope.
So at first I was like, I don't even know what to do with this. Like, I'm kind of paralyzed by choice, but I have been slowly going through parental controls now that I'm aware that it exists, you assholes. And a podcast co-hosted by Matt Jorgensen, one lover of kaiju, one lover of everything kaiju, mind you.
Yeah.
I was like, I really need to see Godzilla -1, and John has Godzilla -1.
Okay.
So that was the first movie that I watched, because I was like, I should watch something that's like for the first thing I'm watching on here, like it should be something that's like kind of universally praised, right? Like,
okay.
I shouldn't watch like a shitty B movie for my first thing, or like something with a lot of TNA for my first movie. Like let's have some decorum about this. Let's do this right.
For sure.
I should note that I have very little experience with Godzilla. I saw the 1998 one, and then I have seen the new stuff, like the one. So I've only seen the American stuff, I guess is what I'm trying to get at.
I got it.
Like,
yeah,
the one that came out in 2014, and then all the stuff that's kind of spun out of that. I think I'm only missing the most recent Kong versus Godzilla movie is the only one that I haven't seen of those. I'm aware of Godzilla and what it is, but just, I'm kind of weird because I like Power Rangers and stuff like that, but I feel that like the rubber monster suit, as far as a movie thing, I'm like, I don't know if that's going to really do anything for me. You know what I mean? Like, unless there's mechs involved. And that's my thing, is like, when it comes to kaiju, I'm more interested if there's robots involved. So
that makes sense.
I love Evangelion, right? I love Pacific Rim.
Pacific Rim, yeah.
Gundam would be cool if they fought kaiju. I think that I'd probably get into Gundam if there was kaiju involved.
Sure, yeah.
And then like Power Rangers, obviously, like I do remember like watching the premiere of Power Rangers and
Yeah,
being
it
like,
makes sense. Yeah.
this is so cool.
Right.
Even though I was like well above like the target age group for that show. So having said all that, you know, I had heard like all of the fervor over Godzilla -1, like how surprisingly impactful it was just emotionally and stuff like that and everything. And I was like, okay, we'll see, because I kind of have a feeling this is going to be one of those things where the hype is like way outstrips like what the actual movie is. And no, the hype is real. Justin.
Okay, good.
Godzilla -1 is a fucking incredible movie. And it's kind of like a retelling of, because I know, you know, what the concept of Godzilla's impetus was, right?
Sure.
Like
Yeah.
very much coming out of the fallout, no pun intended, of World War II, where, you know, you had this very palpable fear in Japan, rightly so, of nuclear weapons. And so it was this horror movie that was like, hey, what if these nukes caused something to awaken from the deep?
Right.
That
Yeah.
causes untold destruction, right? Totally get why that worked. Like it's kind of an incredible premise for a movie. And this takes it and modernizes it. I mean, it's still set during World War II and stuff like that, but you kind of get a more human look
Sure.
at like the toll of the war and the people impacted by it. So your main character was a kamikaze pilot that didn't actually go through with his mission. He cited that there were problems with the plane. Turns out that was bullshit, but he lands at this island that is like for repairs. That island gets attacked by a young Godzilla. I got very disappointed at first because I was like, that's a really small Godzilla.
Okay.
And then it turned like, oh, that's not his final
It's like
form.
teenager Godzilla. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
But basically everybody dies except for him and one mechanic.
Okay.
And even though like they told him like, hey, get in your plane and fire your guns at this thing, you're the only one that's a gunner, you can stop this. And so not only did he not go through with his main mission, he also didn't kill Godzilla when he had the chance.
Right.
He goes home in disgrace. His family has been killed in the air raids. He ends up kind of taking in this young woman with a baby. It's not her baby. She was asked by the mother who died in the air raids to take care of her baby. So this woman and this kid just kind of move into his place, and they have this kind of weird family dynamic where they're not in a relationship, but he's basically the kid's surrogate father.
Okay.
And to anybody on the outside, they kind of just assume that they're married, even though they're not. They don't even have like a romantic thing going on.
Right.
Meanwhile, he gets a job sweeping mines from the ocean on this small boat. It's a small wooden boat that won't attract magnetic mines. And because he's a gunner, he's really good at firing on the mines when they find them with this Gatling gun and whatnot. They get attacked by Godzilla again. As you're watching this movie, it's very clear what the thrust of the movie is, which it's dealing with PTSD, right? And it's dealing with survivor's guilt, right?
Yeah.
But as I'm watching this movie, Justin, I'm like, this is a Silent Hill movie.
Oh, okay.
Where Silent Hill is Godzilla.
Okay.
Because this character like comes across Godzilla so many times and survives, but every time it takes a toll on him.
Right.
Where Godzilla kind of takes almost everything away from him over the course of this movie. And so much of it is like his guilt over like, if I had just killed this thing
right
when they told me to, none of this would be happening. And he's just plagued with this mind-destroying guilt. And I'm like, holy fuck, this is a Silent Hill story. And I posted that on our Discord, and I intended to not elaborate.
Right.
And then Matt Jorgensen was like, I don't have no idea what that sentence means. And I was like, Godzilla equals Silent Hill,
Yeah.
where where he's constantly tormenting the main character.
Sure,
He's like,
yeah.
okay, I can kind of see where you're coming with that, and
Yeah.
I I can get on board with that. But yeah, if you watch this movie, Justin, just kind of keep
Okay.
that in the back of your head. The
I
other
will.
thing that I have to say about this movie is it has the best Godzilla effects that I have seen. Where there's a part where they're like getting attacked by it at sea, and I'm like, God damn, Godzilla's real, and they were able to get him to behave himself
That's
to
good.
film
Yeah.
this scene.
All right.
Like somehow they
Good
were
on
able
him.
to corral this massive kaiju and get him to do exactly what they needed
Good
so
on
that
him.
they could film
Yeah.
this scene, because that's how good it looks. It's amazing. It's so good.
All right.
And I guess I also look, it's been this way for a long time, but, and I think I might have mentioned this when I was talking about Baby Assassins, but there is so long, right up into like the mid-aughts, where Japanese film it just felt so far behind
Yeah. I know
what
exactly
America
what
was
you mean.
doing.
Yeah.
in terms of special effects, in
Mm-hmm.
terms of lighting and like camera composition, and especially acting.
Mhm.
It's one of the reasons why I've always preferred dubs over subs for anime, is because I felt that like a lot of anime voice acting, it's better now, but I still feel this way a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot of, it's very histrionic and like over the top and like yelly, but not necessarily performing, where,
Sure.
you know, American dubs for anime, they're actually playing a character more. And now I know a little bit more about like Japanese dialects, where I understand that like, oh no, actually like Goku and Chi-Chi actually have this like Kansai dialect where they do sound more like, for lack of a better term, like country.
Right.
In Japan. But when I was a teenager, I didn't pick up on
Oh,
those
yeah,
cues and
I
stuff like that.
wouldn't
So
have
it
either,
was
yeah.
easier with a dub to
Right.
get that. But especially with film, I just felt that like, yeah, this just ain't, it's a night and day difference between this and like American film. And definitely in the last like maybe 10 years, I've seen a huge improvement in Japanese filmmaking. I'm like, oh goddamn, yeah, this shit's great. So I'm still, it's still fresh enough for me where I'm always taken aback by it whenever I watch a Japanese
Right.
live action movie, and I'm like, oh goddamn, this isn't rubber monsters and crazy over the top screaming the way that I expect it to be.
Right.
So that's really nice to
Oh,
see.
there you go.
So that's Godzilla -1.
There you go.
High recommend.
There you go. All right.
Lay another one on me, Justin.
All right. Also continuing from last week, I watched the original Twister. Why not? I don't know. It's fine. That movie's okay. It's not super great, but it's fine.
Yeah.
That's really it. It's Twister. There's tornadoes. I kind of like, I know like I watched that movie at whatever point in my life and was like, yeah, it's fine. I will say this, for a movie, from, I can't remember what year Twister came out.
97, 98.
Yeah, somewhere in there. I remember the sound design getting a lot of praise back then, and it is actually still really good. Like it holds up very well. Like the sound is really cool in that movie. I could imagine. I don't know if I watched that in a theater or not. I don't think I did, but I might have. It's tough to remember that far back, but the sound is really good in it. And I don't know, the special effects for the time are kind of neat. The story is what it is, that guy is really upset about this other guy who stole his design, and he's going to, get his divorce signed by Helen Hunt. Who, to be fair, it's the best Helen Hunt probably has ever looked in a movie. So, there you go. There is that. And, then they end up getting back together because, the other girl is like, you know, rich and stuff, and she's a doctor, and it's, I don't know. It's fine. It's a movie. It's fine. It's Yeah.
I have never understood the fervor around that movie, because when that movie came out, it was massive.
Oh, it was huge.
The last time that I went to a convention with John, when he was like working a convention,
Mm-hmm.
he was doing like panels and stuff like that, and he let me tag along. She was there for like this huge like Twister anniversary panel, and she was signing autographs because of Twister, and I'm like, what? I don't understand this like love affair with Twister. Maybe part of it is, like I said, I really don't.
You're not a
care
disaster
all that
movie
much
guy.
for natural disaster movies in general,
Right.
and I've never seen Twister, just never had the desire to. But like, man, people were all over that movie.
You're really not missing much, but at the same time, like, for what it is, it's not bad. You know, I forgot William H. Macy is in that movie. I think that's who it is. I always get him confused with another one. Hold on, let me look up the Twister
I always
cast.
love William H. Macy.
I think I have
Quiz Boy Billy Smith from Magnolia.
No, I'm sorry. The other guy that has
Or
three
Donnie.
names that I got confused. Philip Seymour Hoffman. I always get those two confused. He's in
Also
that
in
movie.
Magnolia. So
Yeah. He's great. He's like a weird stoner man in that movie, which is pretty fun.
mhm.
I don't know. Like I said, you can do worse movie wise, and it was 1996 that movie came out. It's older than I thought it was. I think that was the big deal with like the special effects for like 1996 were like really crazy. You know, and they were, if you can put yourself in that mindset. Again, not a terrible film.
And it was PG-13, and I know, especially back then, like that was a big thing where it was like teenagers were going to movies like all the fucking time if they weren't rated R. So
yeah, that was a big
that
thing.
was also probably a
which
feather in its cap.
which again I think is I swear I've seen that in the theater, but I don't fully remember, if I'm being honest. My mom just wanted to watch it because she wanted to see there's a flying cow part, which is a good bit of comedy. Because you know the cow goes around, and then they're like, oh, cow, and they're like, and then it goes around, they're like, oh, another cow, and then the guy goes, oh, actually I think that's the same cow. It's like, oh,
okay,
good bit.
That's good.
Yeah, good bit. You know, can't lie, good bit. Yeah.
Now it would be like, well, that happened.
Right. Yeah. They drive through a house. That's fun. I don't really know how. It's funny because I watched that. Like you know, when I thought about it more, so there's a part where like a house crashes in front of their truck, and they're driving, obviously, and so they got to drive. They drive through the house, but they drive it up the stairs, and I'm like, and then they come out and they're still on like the ground floor. I'm like, I don't really understand how the mechanics of this worked, but okay, whatever. It's weird. I don't know. It's a fun little disaster movie about storm chasers and stuff. It's fine. That's Twister.
Well, next up on my docket, 100% influenced by playing Dredge.
Okay.
I watched The Lighthouse.
Okay.
Which it's from the same director of The Witch. I hated The Witch. I know that that's not a popular opinion. I thought The Witch was super boring, except for like one line of dialogue right at the end that was like, okay, that got me a little weird, like creeped out.
Sure.
Okay. I was curious because I didn't know what to expect from this movie, and then also I know that this director did Nosferatu, and I want to see Nosferatu, which John also owns, so I'm gonna watch that down the road here pretty soon. All I knew about it was it's Robert Pattinson and Willem Dafoe, and they're manning a lighthouse, and it's black and white.
Okay,
and it's kind of hard to really go into the movie without spoiling shit.
Sure,
so I'm not gonna say much because, even though I ultimately didn't really care for it, I don't want to like ruin it for anybody that might be interested in watching it. I liked it up until there's like there's a part right in the last 20 minutes where I really feel that like the director was like, yo, isn't this weird? Look at this weird turn that this movie just took. Isn't that weird? And I'm like, I mean, yeah, I guess, but I don't think this movie needs that. And it kind of, I think it's kind of lame, to be perfectly frank. I don't even really know how to classify this movie. It's listed as horror / sci-fi, and I don't know that either of those match. I put it more firmly in drama.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, the movie is really about what happens when two strong personalities are sequestered in a very difficult situation and don't necessarily like each other, but have to work and live together for an extended period of time. And the performances are legitimately excellent, especially Willem Dafoe.
Right.
And it takes place in like the 1800s, and I'm like, I feel that Willem Dafoe's character is actually a former pirate from the days of piracy.
Okay.
That then ended up working at this lighthouse. Because I feel that like the timeline might work just enough where he might have been like one of the last actual pirates. Because he talks like a pirate.
Right.
And he definitely acts like a man who spent all his life on the sea, and maybe not necessarily with noble ends in mind. Yeah. It's also one of those movies where I'm like, I don't know what happened in this movie. I don't know.
Okay, yeah.
I honestly couldn't tell you what in this movie actually happened and what of it was just like a character going mad.
I'm curious what the reception is to this.
I think it's pretty positive across the board.
I've watched a lot of movies like that where we're like, oh, people love this, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, sure, let's watch it, and then I'll watch it. I'm like, I don't get it at all, but.
Yeah, it definitely has an element of like your Neva argument where it's like, look at this art.
Oh yeah. There's I've watched a few of those.
Yeah, it's definitely got an element of that to it. But again, performances are excellent.
Okay, good.
Because it's the cast is those two men.
Right.
That is the cast.
Oh yeah, Rotten Tomatoes 90%. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
IMDb 7.4. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It definitely feels like an Oscar bait movie as well to me.
Yeah.
But it also is a very beautiful movie to look at. Like it being, because I don't know if this is the case or not, but to me, it looked like a movie that was actually filmed on black and white stock.
Oh, that'd be interesting. Yeah.
To me, it didn't look like, oh, we just threw like a black and white filter over the movie. Because usually you can tell the difference between that.
Right. Yeah.
And to me, this looked like legit black and white. I could be totally wrong on that.
It's hard to say.
If it's a filter, like filters have come a long way since other movies or other TV shows where they've just done that to give it the black and white look, but it wasn't actually shot in black and white. But it's a gorgeous looking movie. But ultimately, I didn't care for it all that much. And so now I'm like 0 for 2 with this director's movies. So we'll see what I think about Nosferatu, because he also they just released a trailer for his werewolf movie. So it's like, this dude's making like some moves.
He's doing some stuff, it seems like. Yeah.
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 And he loves him some Willem Dafoe, because I think Willem Dafoe is in like most of these movies.
Yeah.
He wasn't in The Witch.
Oh, okay.
But he is in this and Nosferatu and The Werewolf.
Okay. Gotcha.
And I do dig me some Willem Dafoe.
There you go.
But that's The Lighthouse.
Right.
Your mileage may vary.
Sure. There you go. All right. Well, after Twister, I watched another, I guess, kind of, okay, I will put it like this. It was an extremely popular movie at the time it was made. I was definitely too young to both watch it and understand any of the hype around it, and never watched it since, or even really I always vaguely remembered it existed. But as we were going through, the stuff available on Amazon Prime or whatever the hell it was, I seen that there was the movie Backdraft, and I was like, you know what?
Never seen it.
Never seen Backdraft. Me neither. You know what? Not a bad movie. Not a bad movie.
Is that Dennis Quaid or Patrick Swayze?
Neither. Hold on. Let me.
Oh, is it Kurt Russell?
I think it's Kurt Russell.
Okay.
Hold on. I have different movies cast.
It's one of those floppy
yeah.
brown-headed white guys.
Kurt Russell is in it. William Baldwin is the main character. Donald Sutherland's in it. And Robert De Niro, oddly enough, is also in it.
Okay.
I did not know he was in that movie, and all of a sudden I was like, "Oh, he's here! Oh, okay, all right. There's something." Not a bad movie. It's the concept of the movie is about like I think it's actually Kurt Russell plays two parts in this because I think he plays like the dad of these two guys. So they're brothers. The dad takes the kid out with him to go see him fight this fire. It goes bad. The dad dies, and then he's like, "Oh, it's very sad." There's like he becomes like this weird image for like either Life magazine or People magazine or something like that, where he's like holding the firefighter hat, like looking really sad and stuff like that. But anyway, he becomes a firefighter. So does his brother. His brother is Kurt Russell. He's William Baldwin. And it goes from there. He sucks at being a firefighter. So then he goes on to be like, it's all around like somebody is setting up these like explosions around town, these like backdraft explosions, like where they purposely set up the fire to be like, as soon as somebody opens this door, it's going to blow up. And like the whole fucking place is going to blow up. And it's actually like when we were talking about like RoboCop and that the scene where like, there's just like, it's time to just blow shit up in this movie. Fuck it. Like, right. It's a lot of that in this. Like, there's a lot of like just shit blowing up. We just need to blow this entire house up. Is that okay? Yeah, go for it. Fuck it. And it's pretty cool in that aspect. I didn't expect as much like that. I expected it to be like a very actiony, like firefighter take, and like, like they're going and fighting these fires. Look how fucking brave these guys are. And that's not actually what that movie is. It's actually kind of like a whodunit mystery at certain points. Okay. And like, because Robert De Niro's character is an arson investigator. And he's personally, I think, the best part of the movie. His whole character is like, he's kind of like, he's trying to figure out like what cause is how these fires are starting and all this other shit. And William Baldwin sucks at being a firefighter, so they put him on with this guy to become his like, basically like his protege. He's like, he becomes his partner. He's gonna take over for him at the end. And like, Robert De Niro has like his character has like some really interesting like kind of quirks about like there's a part where he just like he takes him into this building where one of the backdraft explosions happened, and he's like, okay, look, in order to do this job, you both have to fight fire. You have to love it a little bit. And he just like sets things on this whole thing on fire. And then he just starts describing, he's like, now this is what it's going to do. He's like, it's going to go up here and go up here. And like, you're watching the fire do all this shit. I'm like, this is actually pretty neat. Like his character's cool. Like Donald Sutherland is like this kind of crazed old like pyromaniac guy. And like, is all about setting everything on fire, and like he's trying to get out of jail, and so they like go to him. I love
that Donald Sutherland is one of those actors who was like always old, even when he was
young. My mom said the same thing when she's seen him. She's like, he's always been old. It's crazy. Yeah.
I was watching a YouTube essay about movies, and they showed a scene of him from Invasion of the Body Snatchers where he's ostensibly young there, but he still looks like an old man.
Right. Yeah, it's nuts. And his character is intriguing too, because like I said, like they go to him to like try to get into the minds of like who is setting these fires and stuff like that to try to get like weird advice. Almost like a
Hannibal.
Yeah, kind of like that. He's kind of like that, but for fires. It's actually a really neat movie, and then ends with like, you know, a really big fucking fire in a factory, and like it's, you know, very heroic and all this other shit. But really, honestly, like, but shit's blowing up all over the place. Everything's on fucking fire. I'm like, yeah, no, this is pretty dope. Actually, this is an all right fucking movie.
Are there some parts where some cool firemen guys like run in slow motion from an explosion behind them?
Probably. There probably is. There's definitely some of that. There's definitely like motherfuckers opening doors and getting blown the fuck up though, which is pretty great. It's cool. It's actually pretty good. Better than I was like, you know, I understand the hyper. Like it was like the first like older like time in a long time where I like watched a movie with like that I remember being huge from back then, but never seen myself. And was like, no, I get it. I get why people were so into this. This is actually pretty good. Yeah, Backdraft. If you've never seen it, you should check it out sometime. It's actually better than you might think.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, my next one, this was actually a John Gholson recommendation.
Okay. Interesting.
This is a movie that I understand why I never heard of it, because it came out in 2021.
Okay.
So
yeah,
people were definitely not going to the movies at this time.
They sure weren't.
But I watched Barb and Star go to Vista Del Mar.
Okay.
Which is a comedy starring Kristen Wiig. She plays Star.
Okay.
And then I forget the actress's name who plays Barb. I remember her as the really anxious lady on the plane in Bridesmaids, but she did like she does like a lot of like small parts in comedies around like this little circle with like Melissa McCarthy and, you know, Kristen Wiig and Kate McKinnon and stuff like that. Dude, this movie's fucking great.
Okay.
I'd like you to watch it, but I told John it's a hard recommend to me for me to you, because comedy is so hit or miss with you.
Uh-huh.
They don't make movies like Barb and Star go to Vista Del Mar anymore.
Okay.
And the cool thing is that, okay, so the main premise, Barb and Star are these middle-aged women that work at a furniture store.
Okay.
They're what, to borrow a term from Kevin Smith films, they are hetero life mates.
Okay.
Like,
I get it. Yeah.
They're best friends who live together, right?
Mm-hmm.
And as I was watching, I was like, I need that. I need like a platonic friend that we just move in together to like save on costs,
right? And
we just get along really well, so it's totally fine.
Yeah,
because like Barb and Star are just living their best lives.
Mm-hmm.
Their store actually goes under, but they get severance pay.
Sure.
And they end up taking this vacation to Vista Del Mar because a friend of theirs from high school said that she had just come back from vacation because her life is like way better than theirs.
Okay, yeah.
But they decide to go on this vacation, and they're both very reserved. They're not very adventurous people.
Yeah.
And they've you can tell that they have missed out on a lot of life. They're both previously married. One of them got divorced. One of them lost, like their husband died.
Okay.
And they haven't dated since they've been single, right?
Sure.
So just like a lot of just being idle for like a long time in their lives of not doing anything interesting. And then they have the craziest adventure in Vista Del Mar. Now, the great thing about this movie is stuff that I can't tell you because I don't want to spoil it.
Sure.
There is stuff going on in this movie, and I watched the trailer afterwards, and wisely, the trailer also doesn't tip its hand.
Good.
But the movie does tip its hand in the first like 5 minutes, where you're like, what the fuck is going on? And it goes from there, and is just a very wacky movie that, yeah, they like, if you are into like Anchorman or like Austin Powers, or I haven't watched it, but I get the same vibe of like Hot Rod, right?
Sure. Oh,
with Andy Samberg.
You've never
right?
seen Hot Rod?
I haven't, but it's on. But John has it, and I almost watched it this weekend, but I decided to save it.
Oh
for later.
man, yeah, we should. Man, I almost want to do that for Cinemorons now.
I'll put a pin in it then.
That's
Don't worry
one
about
of
it.
my favorite movies.
Okay.
I love fucking Hot Rod. It's great.
Yeah, it's that type of zany, and the performances are great. There's a lot of really good supporting character performances. There's a romantic character that is played by the guy who played Christian Grey in the 50 Shades of Grey movies.
Okay, yeah, why not?
Who's surprisingly really funny in this movie.
Okay.
I didn't think he had it in him because I thought he was dog shit in the 50 Shades movies. But he's actually like really fun and charismatic
Oh, there
here.
you go.
It is extremely funny.
Okay.
I think the only thing holding it back, I was watching it and I was like, I really wish this was a rated R comedy. It feels like it wants to be a rated R comedy and it's not.
Mhm.
And there were parts where I was like, this really needs to be raunchier and like more shocking than it is. But they were clearly shooting for a PG-13 rating, and probably because of like when it was made, they were probably like, we need to get as many eyes on this as humanly possible.
Fair enough,
and we
yeah.
know that's not quite likely right now. But if there's a rated R cut of Barb and Star Go to Vista Del Mar, I want to see it because I loved it as is, and I just wanted more. So
Gotcha.
big recommend from me.
Nice.
And I do recommend it to you. I'd be fascinated to
Yeah,
hear what
yeah.
your thoughts are on it.
Yeah. All right. Well, speaking of I guess comedy movies, it's not really a comedy. But Julian, so I watched Backdraft. Good movie.
Mhm.
Pretty good. Pretty impressed by it. And I wasn't entirely honest with you when I told you how I, watched, how I became interested in Backdraft, watching it. Because the truth is, when I was scrolling through stuff, before I seen that Backdraft was on there, I noticed that there was a movie called Backdraft 2.
Did you start with the sequel?
No, I didn't. That's why we went back and watched Backdraft first, because I was like, they made a sequel to Backdraft? When? Why? And I was like,
Yes, I would like to know when.
2019.
That sounds about right.
The original one was in 1991, so roughly 30 years later,
That's right about the time that they made the sequel to Roadhouse and Point Break.
Was it a sequel to Roadhouse or was it the remake of Roadhouse?
I think it was a sequel.
I can't remember.
I don't know.
You're talking about the one with Jake Gyllenhaal?
Yes.
I've seen that movie, sadly enough. That was I slept through most of it. It was bad. So I can't really speak to it. But
Roadhouse.
Backdraft 2 fucking exists. I was so fascinated by that idea that I was like, and then like after because I kept making jokes about it for like as I was scrolling through movies, and then Kim was like, well, we should just watch the original Backdraft because that's a pretty good movie actually, and you've never seen it. I was like, okay, yeah, let's do that. So we watched Backdraft. Good. I was like, wow, this is pretty good. And I was like, how the fuck are they going to make a sequel to that? Why would you make a sequel to that? That's a movie that
Is it really a sequel? Does it have any connective tissue?
Oh boy, does it, Julian. Oh boy, does it.
The way your face just lit up.
Oh yeah. Okay, so our returning actors, we have William Baldwin back. He's back.
He's the easiest one to get.
We have Donald
is totally
Sutherland.
believable.
He's back.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Robert De Niro, thankfully not back. Kurt Russell also not back, but that makes sense. Okay, so our and in fact, the main character is in the first movie. He's the son of Kurt Russell. He's Kurt Russell's son, and now he's all grown up and he's a firefighter man. But he's doing the job of Robert De Niro's character, and the entire movie has this feel of like it's like a made for TV movie, but like it just feels like that. It feels like it's a made for TV movie that like it's like you're watching an episode of CSI, but with fires. Like that's basically it, and not really. It's more than that though. It feels like you're watching an entire season of CSI in an hour and a half, because like they're jumping around all over the place, and like you start to like give so less of a shit about any of the characters involved. It's incredible of how they did it. Like I said, Donald Sutherland reprises his role as the fire guy that, you know, is talking about fires. The concept is, okay, like I said, he does Robert De Niro's job. He likes fire a little bit. And and when he was a kid, at some point after the first movie, he must have just set his room on fire and like just sat on his bed, because they constantly flash back to just that scene. And it's really fucking dumb. He's a gritty arson detective. He's really good at his job. He doesn't like to work with others. He has a partner.
Playing this character?
Oh,
did you
who is
recognize
playing
him?
this character? I forgot his name. Hold on, let me find it. It is Joe Anderson. I don't know what other movies he was. He was in The Crazies, Across the Universe in 2007. A bunch of movies that like I've never really heard of.
Okay. I've seen Across the Universe, but it was a long time ago.
Okay, I don't know if he was a main character in that or not. But yeah, he's the guy that we picked to do this. And the escalation on the movie is absolutely fucking insane, because somebody starts doing the backdraft thing again, right? They're starting to blow. It's like, oh man, and William Baldwin's like, I've seen this once before. You gotta, and this guy, you know, obviously he knows to go talk to Donald Sutherland's character, because that's the fire guy. That's who you talk to.
Backdraft 2, still drafting.
Backdraft 2, this time it's personal. It's fucking nuts, man. The level, like I said, the level
Backdraft 2, Electric Boogaloo.
The level of escalation here is fucking wild. It starts out like, okay, somebody's doing the backdraft fires again. They're setting it up the same. They really know what they're doing, because this you know, real good arson detective, like the opening shot is him like there's a fire and this guy's outside, and he goes in and he looks at the scene and he's like, okay, so there was a body in the middle of the bed. Most people don't sleep in the middle of the bed. You know, that seems like you put that there and then set the fire, and then this guy like gets real mad and he runs away and all this shit, and like you could tell like he called him out on his bull. He's really good at his job, Julian. You get it. He can't figure this out, because whoever's doing it, they're real good. They know this shit. They're real good at fucking setting these fires and doing all this shit. So he can't figure it out. It's wild, but he knows in his heart that it's fucking arson. All right, he knows. And man, the level of escalation. Spoilers for Backdraft 2, a movie that nobody really needs to watch and doesn't need to exist. It turns out the man that's setting the fires is doing it to cover up the fact that he's stealing missiles. At one point,
I never in a million years would have guessed that.
It's fucking nuts, man. It's like, what the fuck is happening? There's a part where like, okay, once Backdraft 2 man gets on his trail, right? He's like I think if I remember right, like he kind of like catches, like they run into each other and have this little like showdown type thing, and then he gets away. And then like he wakes up in bed with his new girlfriend, who you've only seen in like one or two other scenes because she's hardly highlighted at all. But they're a couple now, I guess. And again, like it jumps around so much that you start to like give up on giving a shit about anybody in the movie. They kill, like one of the main characters just gets killed at the end, and I was like, I don't even fucking care. Yeah. Like they don't even care. The guy doesn't even care. He's just like, oh well, that's them. I don't know what to tell you. Like he has no emotional reaction to it at all. It's fucking nuts. But okay, so he wakes up in bed with his new girlfriend, And then he's really good at his job, by the way. I don't know if you knew that. And he wakes up and he smells, the gas or whatever is leaking. And he's like, oh man, I bet money somebody put a switch under this bed so that if we both get off this bed, it's going to blow up. And he's right. So he calls, the fire department to come and deal with it. I don't know why you wouldn't call the bomb squad at this point, but that's neither here nor there. So who shows up first?
Fireman, Justin. You got to.
That is fair.
Yep.
But who shows up first? William Baldwin. And he's telling William Baldwin, don't you do this. Don't you do that. He's got that rig too. He's a pro. This guy's real good. And then what does William Baldwin do? He goes and does it because he knows better. And William Baldwin blows up and dies. That's how they kill him. Because they probably only had him for X amount of scenes. So they had to do that somehow. What an absolute glorious mess of a fucking movie. I was so fucking sports entertained by it.
I do have an important question.
Absolutely.
Going immediately from Backdraft 1 to Backdraft 2.
Yeah.
Did you detect a distinct downgrade in the quality of the effects?
There's a lot less fire. Like actual fire happening. Yeah, definitely. You can and a lot of it you can tell is like CGI, where like the original Backdraft, like no, they were actually setting these fires and fucking filming this shit. Like that's right. It's fucking awesome.
Kind of what I was figuring.
Yeah. It's not. Yeah. Backdraft 2 should not exist. I can't believe they fucking did that. Like it's so wild. Like I said, it's so crammed. Like by the end of the movie, there's a certain point where I was like, what's happening anymore? I don't even okay, this guy's hiding missiles, and then like, okay, so we caught him now. All right. Is what a weird movie. What a weird movie. I loved it though. It's bad. I loved it as a bad movie. It's not sure. Like it's kind of like that. If you have to watch something that's not a good movie, by all means, watch Backdraft 2. It's worth your time for that reason. It's a beautiful mess of a movie. And that's that.
Okay. So after we did Cinemorons last month, which was RoboCop, a lot of people, especially Dennis Robertson, were like, you guys need to watch RoboCop 2.
Yeah.
I didn't have any interest in watching RoboCop 2, but then Dennis Robertson bought me 3 video games, and I was like, fuck it.
All right.
I'm going to watch RoboCop 2
Fair
and
enough.
talk about it on this podcast.
Absolutely.
Did you also watch RoboCop 2?
No, I did not.
I have a feeling...
I did not,
okay.
no.
I kind of thought you would have rolled into here also having watched RoboCop 2.
No, at some point I might watch them, but right now was not the time. I watched a bunch of other things.
Okay. I don't think RoboCop 2 is a good movie.
Oh, well, I'm sorry to hear that, Julian. It was written by Frank Miller, so there's that.
And bless him, he sure did try. Where to start on this one? So one thing I will say, so this one is rated R.
Okay.
But it doesn't feel like a rated R movie. It really feels like you could have tweaked just a couple things. You could have taken out some language, and you could have made this a PG-13 movie. It does not have any of the hyper violence that RoboCop 1 has. Just straight up. And also one of the main antagonists is a fucking kid, like a 12-year-old kid.
Perfect.
Who's like a drug dealer or whatever.
Hell
and
yeah.
The whole thing is like, people don't expect him because he's just a kid, and then he's going to like jump on this cop's back and try to like strangle them or whatever.
Yeah.
Or, he's going to pull out this like little mini compact Mass Effect style machine gun that he has.
I want to be him when I'm grown up. Yeah.
And I was like, okay, yeah, they're really going for, like a more kid friendly aspect. And I do think that part of it is like Frank Miller was like, this is 1990, or 91. In this movie, I'm like, I can see how you ended up being kind of a right-wing becoming the right-wing nut job that you are today.
You can see it a lot when you really look at some of the stuff he's written. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a big plot point where OCP is like, RoboCop is not working the way that we want him to. We need to kind of readdress his directives. And so they have this big OCP meeting. and it's all like a bunch of people saying like, oh, well, you know, my kid really doesn't like that he's always opening fire. And it's like someone else is like, yeah, like why can't he just like talk to people sometimes, blah blah blah. And so what happens is they reprogram RoboCop to where now he's like a nice cop, and he like tries to like talk to people before he opens fire and this and that, and it's all done for comedic effect, where it's like, look at this stupid shit that you want a cop to do. Like you want a police officer to try to de-escalate a situation. What kind of a soy boy cuck are you?
Yeah.
That's kind of the tacit like vibe going on here, and I fucking hated it.
Yeah.
On top of that, so I do think that whenever there's like a really good scene at the beginning where he has the helmet off and he's in the chair and they're trying to, like, an OCP guy is like trying to say like, you're not Alex Murphy. Alex Murphy is dead. Stop calling yourself Alex Murphy.
Right.
And it causes RoboCop to kind of break and admit that he's dead. Right.
Okay.
And the performance there from Peter Weller is really good.
Okay.
I was like,
believe
oh man, I'm totally buying like this like fractured humanity going on with this character. But anytime that he's just walking around as RoboCop, I feel that like the director gave him different marching orders than Paul Verhoeven, because he just kind of moves in a very cartoonish way the whole movie.
Okay. Yeah.
It feels very exaggerated and silly and, for lack of a better term, cartoony.
Sure. Yeah.
And that none of that worked for me. One of the main plot points is OCP trying to recreate RoboCop. Right?
Okay.
And to their credit, they have this bit of dialogue where they're like, every person that we've tried to do this procedure to has gone crazy and killed themselves.
Okay.
Why didn't Alex Murphy kill himself? And it's kind of like a Captain America thing where they're like, Alex Murphy was already like a top in his class officer, right? He was like just a good moral character, and he was like a great cop. So that's probably what kept him alive, like through the process, is like this strong sense of duty and morality that is just ingrained into his psyche that caused RoboCop to be successful. That's a cool premise.
Interesting. Yeah.
Every time that they bring out RoboCop 2, which is kind of funny,
that's
what they
funny,
call
actually,
it.
Yeah.
It looks like what would have been a prototype for what RoboCop becomes. It's like every time that they show a new version of RoboCop, it's like this stop motion miniature thing set against green screen, but it's like a ricketier version. Like it doesn't. The only way that it resembles a human is that it has 2 arms and 2 legs. Okay. Everything else is far more robotic, and it's like, y'all are going backwards. You understand that you're going backwards, right? And ultimately, like, the thing that they come up with is this massive mech type thing that has like a big Gatling gun for an arm.
Sure. Yeah.
It's kind of like a in between of RoboCop and Ed 209.
Yeah.
And when we were talking about what they should have done for a sequel, I still maintain that no, you do another RoboCop.
Yeah.
But you have him as a sleeker, more equipped, like better equipped, more mobile version of RoboCop. It's still very much a human in like a human cyborg. And you have it to be like, oh, RoboCop is out of date, right? Like, and he has to like come up, but the thing that sets him apart is that he still has more of his humanity, and he can think on the fly, and he also has his partner, right? And that's how he defeats this superior version of RoboCop.
Right, yeah.
That's not what they do.
No, probably not what they do.
And there's like this big like drug dealing cult.
I was gonna say that's when like Nuke comes into play.
That's when Nuke comes in. Even I knew about Nuke.
Yeah, me too.
And God bless him, like they really tried to make Boddicker 2.
Yeah.
You can tell that that's what they were going for, but this dude ain't it.
Yeah.
That he so desperately wants to be as charismatic as Boddicker, and he just falls so flat, man. It's really a wet fart of a movie. I was so disappointed in it.
Yeah.
And I have to roll into the next movie that I watched.
Yeah, absolutely. You do.
So, sorry. This isn't the next movie that I watched.
Right.
But I have to roll into it, which is that I watched RoboCop 3 last night. And here's where people are going to fucking hate me.
Okay.
Because I think RoboCop 3 is way better than RoboCop 2.
Interesting. Okay.
It's not a good movie.
Okay, perfect.
But it is, I think it's far better and more interesting and more entertaining than RoboCop 2 is. But I think it's also specifically of when I watched RoboCop 3.
Fair enough.
So the big premise of RoboCop 3 is that OCP is now moving like full steam ahead with we're gonna make Delta City. We have now hired this new branch of law enforcement.
Okay.
That their only job is to evict people from their homes and move them into camps to then like kind of reintegrate them into society by like relocating them and finding them new jobs and whatever. And it's like, but really what they're just doing is putting them in internment camps and like sweeping them under the rug so that they can just bulldoze Detroit and break ground on this new city. They've also been purchased by a Japanese company in a hostile takeover.
Oh, fun.
Which is kind of an interesting wrinkle to all the OCP stuff. You do have a surprising amount of the characters reprising their roles. So Lewis is back.
Yeah.
Johnson, like he's in all 3 movies. The really sycophantic yes man at OCP.
Yeah.
But he kind of moves up in the ranks every movie. The old man is gone. I think the actor might have passed away by this point.
That's possible. Yeah.
Yeah. So the new CEO is played by Rip Torn, which that's great casting right there.
Right.
I love me some Rip Torn. The sergeant is still there. So, you know, there's a good amount of like the supporting cast that is still here. Obviously, RoboCop is recast, but they sure did get a guy that if you weren't aware that RoboCop was recast, you might be forgiven for thinking that it was still Peter Weller, because the guy sure does look like Peter Weller. But, okay, so this is a PG-13 movie.
Okay.
It's very obviously a PG-13 movie.
Yeah.
And it's funny because like also there's a TV commercial for an action figure line based on this new set of law enforcement.
Okay.
And it's like, okay, that's a pretty fun nod to the fact that like RoboCop is basically a toy line at this point.
Right.
The thing that made this movie work for me in a big way that RoboCop 2 didn't is this new squad is basically ICE.
Yeah. That's kind of what I figured. Yeah.
Yeah, and so there's this resistance movement that's mainly homeless people and just like people that are being like evicted from their homes that have banded together to fight the man. Yeah. The man here being OCP, but also the police department because they're owned by OCP.
Owned by OCP, yeah.
And there was something extremely satisfying and gratifying about seeing some people fucking rise up and blow some shit up to stop, for lack of a better term, ICE from doing their job.
Right.
And I fucking loved that. And RoboCop ends up like on the side of the resistance. There's this great scene where they're all holed up in this church and RoboCop, he finds them and he goes to the church and then he sees that they're all cowering there in the pews and he goes out and this, I forget what they call this wing. So I'm just going to call him ICE.
Sure.
But ICE shows up in 3 or 4 giant trucks to take people away.
Sure, yeah.
Also worth noting because, you know, this is 1993. So way before police became militarized the way that they are now.
Right.
So, you know, that was kind of one of the things that was interesting about RoboCop 1 is like you start to see a little bit of like how they predicted policing would go.
Sure.
With like the body armor and like the riot gear and stuff like that. But this is way more out there where they've all got like machine guns and like grenades and stuff like that. Like they're kitted out for war.
Right.
Even though ostensibly all they're supposed to be doing is removing people from their homes and taking them elsewhere. For their safety is how they frame it.
Fair enough.
And you see RoboCop's point of view and like he goes through his directives and it's like protect the innocent. And so he looks at the people in the church.
Yeah.
And then uphold the public trust. He looks at the people in the church.
Right.
And then he looks at the ICE people and it says, you know, uphold the law.
Right.
And you can see the calculus in his head where he's like, these officers are not upholding the law.
Right.
But his 4th directive is still do not attack an OCP officer.
Sure.
but he's like, but they're breaking the law. And so it's this really cool moment where he circumvents that directive but in a way where he's not actually harming the officers. Like he like kind of blows up like the equipment around them and stuff like that.
Right.
But he makes a stand. And then for the rest of the movie, he is on the side of this resistance group. And also there's fucking ninja cyborgs because of this Japanese corporation that he gets to fight. Like there's some cool shit.
Some
in this movie.
Arasaka shit. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Again, not a good movie. Neither of these movies are good.
Right. Yeah. No.
But I think RoboCop 3 is way better. Like orders of magnitudes better than RoboCop 2.
I think if I remember correctly, I think that was like Frank Miller's like first draft of RoboCop 2 or something like that they
think
took.
John told me that.
Yeah.
Either or maybe it was you.
I think it was me. Last episode because me and Lonnie looked into that, and I believe he told me that. Like, because he
we talked about that
we talked about that then.
Yes.
So it's kind of interesting that like they just went back and took a different, like an earlier draft or whatever. And it does kind of make sense when you stop and think about it that would be the sequel. Like, oh yeah, like especially some of the backstory that you were describing. Yeah.
But I think it does work better as a third story because when you take them all three together, it very much is like the battle against OCP, but it starts as not really a battle, and then it escalates over the course of the next two movies, culminating with like their ultimate like destruction in the third movie. But I was in the Discord, I was like, oh, y'all are gonna hate my opinions on this next episode, because I even texted John, and I think this is funny, he did not reply. He usually replies to my text, but I was like, RoboCop 3 might be fire, actually. I'm watching it right now, and it's way better than 2? Question mark. And then he just left me on red, and I was like, okay, he is not prepared to have this conversation with me.
Yeah, I get it. But yeah, all right. RoboCop 3, interesting. Let's see. I also watched... Let's see, which one do I want to talk about here? I have 3 left. I'm saving the big one for last.
I have 3 left.
Nice. I watched the movie Cocaine Bear.
I want to see that so bad.
Yeah. It was okay. It was all right.
That's kind of what I've heard.
Yeah, it's not an amazing movie by any stretch. The thing I appreciated about Cocaine Bear is that it's a movie that knows it's fucking stupid. And is really playing into that. And I like that bit about it.
But I've always got the sense that it doesn't quite live up to the name Cocaine Bear. Like it's not as crazy as you'd kind of want it to be.
Yeah, it's very much a comedy. With like, I guess, some horror-ish elements. The problem with it is it's a comedy that's not super funny at any point to me. A lot of the humor just kind of like is like just kind of lame. Ray Liotta's in it. It's like it was his last performance, interestingly enough, I believe, because even at the end credits, it's like in loving memory of Ray Liotta. And I was like, oh, that's neat. He's interesting in it. It is fascinating that it is based on a true story. It's definitely not like they exaggerated a lot of stuff in it, obviously, but it's fascinating in that sense that it is. Like I said, it's fine. Like I didn't have a bad time watching it at all, but I wasn't like over the moon for it or anything like that either. I
might not have as much fun with that as I did with bad CGI Gator.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's interesting. Like I just talked about Backdraft 2, which is a bad movie that I had a real great time watching because it's bad. But it's taking itself dead serious. I think Cocaine Bear it knows it's stupid and it's playing into that, but because it's not completely taking itself seriously, it feels to be like funny in like a bad movie sense, and it's trying to be, just legitimately funny, which it's not good at doing. And it kind of falls in this like middle of the road spot where I feel like it grows into like forgettable territory, but like I don't know, it's it didn't do a whole lot for me, but I didn't hate it either. It was just kind of, as the kids would say, it's kind of just a mid movie to me. But not bad. I don't know. It's complicated.
Yeah.
Like we had a fun time watching it. There's some really silly shit in it, and that's fun. But there's also like, I don't know, they really play into the fact that the bear is doing cocaine. And
well, I mean, I'd hope so.
yeah, they do. I mean, but and like that will definitely, your mileage may vary on that. You know, like
Right.
there are certain people that are going to think that is amazing and funny, and there are certain people like me that it's like, yeah, I get it, but I don't really think what's happening is funny here. It's just kind of not doing it for me because ultimately it's a comedy. So, you know, it's either going to make you laugh or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a reason why I have really only brought one comedy to Cinemoron so far.
Yeah.
I guess technically I will be watching the second one that I've brought, you know, for next month, because Singing in the Rain is a comedy. Like it's a musical, but at its core, it's a comedy.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. The Cocaine Bear it's fine. It's like I said, the story behind it's interesting, you know, it being a true story, I guess. I think they show like the actual newscast of like the story of like how the progenitus of it, which was like a guy that was like working for Pablo Escobar or this other dude that Ray Liotta's playing, parachutes out of a plane. The parachute fails. He falls, dies, had a shitload of cocaine on him. It all kind of gets scattered around these woods. And then this guy sends two guys to find all the cocaine and all this other stuff. But the bear finds it and is really into it. So
right.
Yeah, that's basically it. Yeah, Cocaine Bear. It's a movie you can watch and you might like it. I don't know. I was kind of middle of the road on it. So yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Do you want me to go again, since we're both kind of even for what we have left?
Yeah, if you want to, go ahead.
Okay. The other night, I've kind of been doing what you do, where I'm like, I've watched almost at least a movie.
Yeah, that's what I do
every evening lately. Like I'm kind of surprised that I finished the two games that I did, because I was kind of just like watching movies.
Right.
But so I have been recommended by multiple people to watch I Saw the TV Glow.
Yeah.
I know you had recommended it to me.
Yeah, it's a very interesting movie.
Yeah, John recommended it. I know Phoebe at Nerds of Broadcast was really over the moon for it. I heard nothing but great things about it.
Mm-hmm.
And he had it on the thing. I was like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and watch this movie.
Yeah.
First off, I don't remember if you said this or not, but I know that most of the times that I have heard about this movie, they have said that it is about these two like teenagers that are really into this TV show that's sort of like from like the Snicker Treat lineup on Nickelodeon, like your Goosebumps or your Are You Afraid of the Darks or whatever. And it's like, okay, I get that, like it's very much like pitched as like it's on like a channel like that. But it's fucking Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
That was the take I had on it. It was like a Buffy the Vampire Slayer type thing, where it was like that kind of thing. Yeah.
To the point that when they show the television show and they'll have like the credits, it is the same font that Buffy the Vampire Slayer used.
Yeah.
I very much appreciated that. And also, one of the two main characters is named Tara. And then later on in the movie, and I don't know, Phoebe might have caught this. I don't know if she said this when she was talking about the movie.
Right.
But there's a part where the main character goes to his friend's house and talks to his friend's mom, and he because he has to confess something. And she's played by Amber Benson, who played Tara on Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
You go. Cool.
And I thought that was fucking wicked awesome.
Yeah.
This is a movie where, you know, I've been a big thing about like, oh, people did not get it. Like when we're talking about like a plot or something like that. I Saw the TV Glow as a movie that I did not get.
That's fair.
I kind of see that there's something to be said about identity. I don't know what that's supposed to be.
No, you're not wrong. Continue.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the main premise is that like you have this he's like a middle schooler that is in a really like he's his father is very strict. It looks like it's a stepfather. Yeah. Or I don't know. I guess it could be his biological father, because Justice Smith is pretty light skinned, so I could buy that it's his real dad. I assumed that it was like a stepdad situation, but I could be remember now. That.
Yeah.
But it's definitely a situation where, and I could definitely identify with this, where he gets along way better with his mom than his dad.
Yeah.
And to the point that like he doesn't want to ask his father things. Right. He asks his mom to ask on his behalf. And he's very sheltered, and he has like very strict rules, like including like bedtime stuff. But he's heard about this show called The Pink Opaque. Yep. And he's very interested in it, but it comes on at like 9:30, and his bedtime is like I think when the movie starts it's like 8:30.
Sure.
So there's no way that he could watch it. He ends up meeting this high school girl, like she's a freshman, so she's only like 2 years older than him. Right. But she's reading like an episode guide for the Pink Opaque, and so they kind of talk about that. And then eventually like, oh, actually, I think it's that first meeting. She's like, oh, you know what you should do is you should say that you're going to a friend for a sleepover, then come to my house and you can watch the show. Yeah. So he does that, but because he had said that he was going to a sleepover, like she ends up letting him stay like in her den that night. But it's the only time that they do that for a while. And then when he gets to high school, she starts leaving him like VHS tapes. Right. Like she records the show for him. Because my first thing was like, just record the show. Like, right. You can watch it. You can watch it during the day. It's fine. But maybe he didn't have. No, he has to be able to watch it. So they have a VCR anyway. Yeah. But she does that. They kind of become friends. So one of my big issues with this movie is, so when he's a middle schooler, the main character is played by an age appropriate kid. Sure. When he gets to high school, just 2 years later, he's played by Justice Smith, who is then the character for the rest of the movie. And then the teenage girl, she's the same actress the whole time. Sure. They are both trying to do their best sullen teen performance. Yeah. She's more successful at it than Justice Smith is. I don't think that she's ultimately all that great at it because it's very one note.
The acting in that movie is a little weird at times.
I think it's bad.
I don't disagree with you.
So I've seen Justice Smith in a lot of other things, and I think he's fine. I don't think that he's like a great actor or whatever, but like I've believed him in the stuff that I've watched him in. Yeah. The weird teenager voice that he's doing in this movie is bad. Mm-hmm. And so this movie takes place over the course of years. So his character becomes a grown ass man, and he's still talking like that. Mm-hmm. And it bothered me throughout the whole goddamn movie.
It's a little odd. I'll agree.
And ultimately, I felt the same way at the end of I Saw the TV Glow as I felt at the end of The Lighthouse, which is, I don't know what I just watched, man. I don't know what happened.
I get it. Yeah. Yeah, I get it. I like that movie. Mm-hmm. It's very like my big thing with it was there's a lot of time in that movie where I'm just like, is anything gonna happen in this movie? Because it just kind of goes for a while where you're just like, okay, they like this show. Okay, I get it. And it's like a lot of that. Like, I'm like, some of this stuff should have probably just been like, at some point the movie needs to move. Like, because I'm like, I'm getting bored watching it, and then at some point, like, some stuff starts to happen, and I'm like, okay, all right, I'm interested now. There's some really good imagery in the movie. Really like weird, creepy shit happens, and then like. And a concept is introduced towards the end that I was like, okay, that's really fucking weird, and I'm intrigued by it. And ultimately, like, yeah, I won't say I didn't get it. I think I got it at the end. But like, yeah, I will say, like, you're a part of what you were complaining about the performances, and especially in that opening like half where they're kind of going over the backstory of the whole thing. I was like, man, everything here is just kind of weird, and part of me thinks it was intentional, and part of me isn't sure. It's different.
I think it might be direction.
Yeah,
because like I said, I've seen Justice Smith put out way better performances than this. I mean, I believed him like opposite a CG Pikachu, for fuck's sake. But here I'm just like, I don't buy your character at all.
my take on his character in that movie was that he was like autistic.
Sure.
And I'm not sure if I was supposed to read it that way, but that's how I read it.
I don't know, but I mean, because he even says that, like, I know that there's something different about me, right? I think he actually says wrong with me. Which, I can understand a teenager feeling that way, right? And then kind of growing into it over time. But I think the thing that I just couldn't get away from is like, your character is now like 30. Why are you still talking like a sullen teen?
Yeah. Right.
That was the thing that I just couldn't get away from.
Well, that's just how they talk. They just maintained that.
Yeah.
I don't know. But then again, there's the whole concept of time is moving weird towards the end or whatever. So yeah,
I guess
it's weird. It's a very interesting movie.
It is, and it's very similar to The Lighthouse. It's classified as horror, and I think that's a misclassification.
There's a lot of things that are classified as horror that I find fascinating, because I'm like, I get it, because there is some stuff that's like, yeah, that's creepy and weird, but like, yeah, it depends on what your definition of horror is, I guess, like, yeah.
Like, I definitely didn't find anything in there that I was like, is this even supposed to moderately startle me? Because
I don't think there was anything startling in it. No.
Yeah. Or even creep me out, right? Other than the fact that, like, and this is actually a pretty good part where they show them watching the show, and it's like, oh man, that's a pretty intense show that's supposedly aimed at kids. Yeah. But then there's a part at the very end where he's like rewatching the show, and he's like, oh, it was nothing like I remembered. And then they show it. It's like, it's almost like Power Rangers.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm like, okay, that's actually kind of a neat bit.
Right.
That the show that we were seeing was like his memory of what the show was. Yeah. But yeah, ultimately it was a pretty massive miss for me.
Yeah. I get that.
I texted John and I was like, why did you want me to watch this? And he's like, oh, I just really wanted to know what you thought about it because it missed me. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, I'm glad that I'm not the only one.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. I was kind of like, that was another one I was kind of like middle of the road on. Like, I was like, that was interesting, but like, I don't care if I ever see that again. Like, it's a tough one to recommend, really, in my opinion. Yeah,
Sorry, Phoebe. I think it's one of those movies that I was a little too dumb to get. Like, what was going on. I found
it very fascinating. I think I got it at the end, but it was my big problem with that movie is it moves really, really slow, and that's like my everlasting memory of it, is that like the entire like first half to 3/4 of that movie is just like, is anything gonna happen in this? Because nothing's happening. Like, it's a lot of nothing. So yeah. Oh boy. What else do I got? I got an old one that I've surprisingly never seen before. I watched the movie Seven.
I've never seen Seven.
Yeah, I never have either. I remember a long, long time ago when I was like in high school, I started watching it, and it was like on TV. So like a lot of stuff was like cut out, and I remember at a certain point I was like, I'm just gonna kind of give up on this and went a different way. One of these days I'll watch the entirety of Seven.
I will say real quick though, sometimes it's fun to watch the TV edits of R-rated movies.
Oh sure. Absolutely.
I remember when FX aired fucking Showgirls.
Right.
And it was actually pretty fun the way they did it, because they did it like the Cartoon Network version of Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, where they just painted over the nudity with very clearly cartoony clothing.
That's the way to go. Seven's a really good movie. That's a really good one. If you don't know,
This is Bruce Willis, right?
no, this
In
is
Seven?
Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman, and the one guy that's super fucking canceled. I always forget his name now, which is probably for the best. But the guy from Usual Suspects, you know who I'm talking about.
Oh, Spacey.
Yeah, Spacey. Thank you.
It is 12 Monkeys.
12 Monkeys is Bruce
Bruce
Willis
Willis?
and Brad Pitt. Yes.
I always get those two movies
Yeah,
confused.
yeah. Seven is about there's a serial killer who is basically killing people based on the seven deadly sins. So like the first killing is like a guy is gluttony, so he forces a guy to basically eat himself to death. The next one is I forgot. I think it's greed. So he does something to a lawyer or something like that. Brad Pitt is like this young hotshot detective who requested to be moved to this like really bad district of town, and Morgan Freeman is the cop that is about to retire because he's just seen too much shit and he's done with it. They have a pretty interesting dynamic, and I found it interesting that for a lot of the movie, like and even I would say 90% of the movie, like I hated Brad Pitt. Like I was just like, this guy sucks. Like his character sucks. And that's kind of like, I think the point, but then you kind of turn around on him at a certain point. Like you're like, oh, okay, I get it. He's actually like, he's this way for kind of a reason. He's just kind of dumb, and Morgan Freeman's like the smart one. I get it. But yeah, ultimately that's a really good movie. Very brutal imagery, kind of a cool, like, I don't know, Morgan Freeman's really great. I really liked his character is amazing. Also Gwyneth Paltrow's in that movie. I forgot about that. But yeah,
I wonder if that's where she met Brad Pitt, because they were a thing for a long time.
very possible. I can't remember when Seven came out, but yeah, it was that. But yeah, you know, it has the classic, you know, what's in the box scene and all that stuff. If you've never seen that. Seven, it's a good movie. You should watch it if you've never seen it. I imagine a lot of people out there are like, yeah, I've seen Seven, dipshit. Except for me and Julian. But
Yeah.
now just Julian. No, it's good.
It's probably on John's Fandango, so
Yeah, there you go. It's worth watching.
yeah. Oh, that's what I forgot to mention, is that like I'm really glad that he did this, because I have no idea what my recovery is going to be like.
Right.
I don't know if I'm going to be like able or wanting
Right.
to play a video game, or if I'm just going to want to like just be zoned out on the couch
lay down on the couch for a while. Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
yeah, it's hard to say.
So it's nice to have like a lot of stuff like easily accessible, because I have Blu-rays and stuff like
Sure.
that, but I don't know if I'm going to be wanting to be getting
You have
up
to
and
get
down
up and put it in and take it out. It's
Yeah.
the whole thing. Yeah. But yeah, Seven's good. I recommend it. I mean, it's been recommended enough by enough people to be like, yeah, if you should probably just watch this movie. It's pretty good. But yeah, man, that was from a time where like that inspired like a bunch of shit after. Like there was like that there was just a whole era of like, we're gonna have like the buddy cops, but they're investigating some really dark ass serial killer crimes. Like I remember the Bone Collector and all that shit came out kind of after that, and yeah. I remember watching the Bone Collector. I don't remember what the twist was in it though. There was a twist. I do remember that, but I can't remember what it was. Anyway, what else did you watch, Julian?
So next up, I watched X. This was not a recommendation from John. This was a thing where I have heard about this like trilogy of movies starring Mia Goth.
Okay.
I haven't seen Mia Goth in anything, but I just knew the name, and I knew that like people were really like pretty high on these movies.
Mhm.
X is set in the 70s, and it's about this crew that are filming a porno, and it's like
Okay.
right at the cusp of home video becoming a thing, and that's like the main, like the director, or not the director, like the main guys, like his vision is we're going to film this porno and we're going to be ready to release it right as home video comes out, and we're going to make a killing.
Right.
Because like I have seen where the winds are blowing, and the future is not adult theaters.
Sure.
It's, you know, being able to enjoy your porn in the comfort of your own home, which was a massive thing.
Yeah,
right? Like,
yeah, for sure.
that fundamentally changed the way that people engaged with adult content. And they have basically made an arrangement with this old guy on his farmland where he's got like this little guest house or whatever. But he has not been told like what they're doing there.
Sure.
Right. But they're going to like basically just like shoot this porno like guerrilla style around this guy's like farm.
Okay.
And murders happen.
Oh, good.
Because it's a slasher flick.
Oh, okay.
And I really didn't like it.
Oh, okay. Well, fair enough.
I've said this before. I don't really like slasher flicks all that much.
Yeah.
I find them to be fairly predictable, and I think ultimately I don't really care about like a regular person killing a bunch of people unless that like if it's a monster person, okay, right?
Sure.
Like if it's a Freddy Krueger or a Jason or an Art the Clown, I'm more interested in that because there's something unknowable about that
Sure.
entity, right? There's something almost inevitable about those murders. Where if it's just like a regular person killing people, like, yeah, okay, like, yeah, people suck. I don't know what to tell you. It's well shot. I enjoy some gratuitous nudity from time to time, and there's some really good gratuitous nudity in this movie. So my big problem with it is it's a married couple that owns this farmhouse, and it's very clear that they are younger actors that have been done up with makeup to look very old. Like they look like they're supposed to be in their 90s, but it's obvious that the actors are not that old.
Right.
And I think the makeup is bad to the point of distraction.
Interesting.
That was like the big thing for me, is that I really couldn't get away from it. And I also think that like, so the main premise is like, oh, the wife of this old guy, she's still horny, man. She wants to fuck so bad,
right?
But like her husband can't do it anymore because his heart, because they're very, very, very old,
right?
But now there's all these young hot people prancing around her home, and they're also like doing the fornication, and she can't do the fornication, and that makes her mad. So you know she's gonna do a stabbing because she can't get stabbed metaphorically.
Yeah.
And I think a big part of it is like the shock value of like, oh, this old lady's gonna like take her clothes off,
right? And
she's gonna try, like you're gonna see her like attempt to fuck, and that's gonna be like really shocking and gross, isn't it? And I'm just like, I mean, it's whatever.
Sure,
I don't care.
Not your thing.
So I don't know if I'm going to watch the next two movies, Pearl and Maxine. John did say that Pearl made him appreciate X more.
Okay.
In retrospect.
Interesting.
So we'll see how bored I get.
You never know.
Mia Goth was good.
Okay.
And, you know, I know that she's kind of like an up and comer, but
sure.
No pun intended.
Yeah.
But yeah, it didn't do much for me.
Yeah, well,
so
you'll have that.
That's X.
You'll have that.
Yeah.
Well, the last one that I have here, and it's the big one. I watched Backrooms.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good movie.
Well, the Backrooms.
Yeah, the Backrooms, sorry. That's a good movie.
Yeah.
It's a good movie.
Right?
I liked it. Yeah, it's hard to talk about that movie without like really spoiling anything. I mean, basically look up the episode where Julian described the plot, where or the opening plot. I mean, the guy basically finds this weird thing at the back rooms and starts going into them, and there's some shit going on. He's not really sure, and you know, it just kind of keeps going from there. I really liked it. I think the mystery about it is actually like my favorite part. Of just
Same.
Like and like they don't explain it too much. They leave a lot of it open to be like, okay, what do you think it is? And I liked that. But there's enough like to where you can theorize, you know? And that's pretty neat.
See, I came away with the opposite feeling because I was like all in on it until like the end where they do start explaining a lot of the shit, and I was like, I really didn't need.
They do and they don't, in my opinion, because like, yes, they kind of explain like what they think the idea of it is, and that's possible, but at the same time, there's like stuff at like the very end where I'm like, okay, maybe that's what this thing is doing. And also I think it's like interesting that it's like kind of just this unknowable thing. Like it's just almost like oldest house type thing where it's just like,
yeah. I guess one thing I should mention is that there is enough ambiguity with the explanation of, because they're like,
right.
we're still trying to understand what this thing is.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Yeah. And I did learn after I did that episode that apparently like that whole sciencey aspect of it is a big part of the Backrooms lore that has built up like with this whole internet storytelling thing.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I guess you kind of need it in there then if it's that big, if it's that vital to like that overarching lore.
Yeah.
I also really enjoy the fact that it's Mark Duplass in
Yeah.
that role who, you know, famously from Creep, like the Creep movies, but I was like, okay, that's actually a really good bit of stunt casting there.
I enjoyed the build up to like the big, you know, scary thing, and then that was great. That thing that it was very creepy and cool in that way. I even liked there's a scene like kind of in the middle where like shit starts to pop off that I was like, man, this is fucking awesome. Where it's kind of like all in first person from like a camera. I was like, man, this shit's great. This is really awesome. I enjoyed it a lot. It was a good movie.
Yeah,
that's really all I got for it. Backrooms is good. You should watch it.
I saw online that like there had been like a bunch of copyright claims on Backrooms type media on YouTube from A24.
Yeah, I've seen that too.
And Kane Parsons was like, I'm talking to them about that because that shouldn't happen. And then they did release a statement, I think today, where they were like, we're not going to pursue any, you know, like we understand that we don't own the Backrooms, that it's a much larger phenomenon, and it hinges on this collective conscious,
basically,
like storytelling type thing. I was like, okay, that's good, but because I wasn't even sure that, I mean, I guess he's credited as being like the originator of it, but he doesn't claim ownership over it, which I think is really cool.
That's good.
Yeah. This new crop of like YouTubers turned directors is actually like pretty encouraging.
I agree.
Like at first I was kind of like turned off of the idea, mainly because like because the first one this year was like Markiplier with Iron Lung. I just can't stand that dude.
Yeah, I'm kind of cool on watching that.
Yeah, but they're not all like that, right? And I think that was the thing is I was like kind of painting them all with the Markiplier brush. And I was like, okay, that's obviously not fair.
Right. No, Backrooms was really good. I enjoyed it. I even it was fun. I feel like I seen the image at like the perfect time. They showed like how they did the big scary thing. Like there was just a picture, and I was just like,
oh, I did see that.
Did
online.
you see that?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's kind of awesome. Actually, it's just a really big man. That's actually great. It's a good movie. I enjoyed it. Kim and I were then trying to rank our top 5 horror movies of this year, and I think I like Obsession the best, and I think she still likes Undertone the best. I can't remember where.
Obsession is definitely
Obsession
like as far as horror.
I thought that. I thought Obsession was fucking great.
Yeah.
She has Passenger ranked a lot higher than I do. I was like, didn't really care for that one.
I sent this to John as well after we watched it together, but I don't know if he ended up watching it. And I know I've talked about this on the show, but especially now that you've watched Backrooms, because I don't know about you, but like it's made me like more interested in like liminal space type stuff.
Sure.
I'm going to put it because I think you and Kim would get a kick out of watching this, and I'm like, especially let her know as little as possible. I'm going to tell you as little as possible as well. But it's a deep dive into this mod for Doom.
Oh yeah,
called
no, I
Lighthouse.
watched this. Yeah.
Oh, you did watch
you
it?
You sent it to me a while back. Yeah, you and I have talked about it before. Yeah.
I didn't remember if you watched it or not.
Oh, I watched the whole thing. I was like, at first I was like, okay, yeah, this is kind of neat, and then like, yeah, it keeps going, and I was like, this is fucking awesome. Yeah, no, yeah.
Okay, cool.
I got that. That was another thing I got a vibe from, and that's also based on like House of Leaves.
Right, and I ended up buying House of Leaves after I watched this video.
I think Kim has a copy of that as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
She says she has read it before. She's like, it's one of the hardest books to ever read because that's
what I keep hearing. Yeah,
it's so hard to read it.
And that's specifically why I went ahead. I mean, I buy all my books physical, but like I've heard that this one in particular is like you really need to own.
You need to
book.
have a physical copy of it. Yes, 100%.
Yeah. All right. Well, last but not least from me for movies, and this was another John recommendation.
All right.
I watched The Man with Two Brains, starring Steve Martin.
Okay.
From like, I don't know, 84, 85, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, hold on. That might be too early. Let me double check. It might have been 70s. Oh, no, 83. Okay. He recommended it to me because he was like, if you're missing like that Mel Brooks feel, like you need to watch The Man with Two Brains. And I get that because it does at certain points have a little bit of that Mel Brooks vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Much like Barb and Star, they don't make comedies like The Man with Two Brains anymore because I wouldn't call it a spoof movie.
Mm.
It's just a really zany comedy where like a lot of silly stuff happens. Mm-hmm. Steve Martin plays this like very successful brain surgeon who had his wife had died and he's very broken up about it. He ends up hitting Kathleen Turner with his car. Kathleen Turner is a gold digger who was in the process of making her old husband so angry that he has a heart attack and dies. But as he was dying, he let her know that he had changed the will, like, and she's not getting anything. When Steve Martin hits her, like, he instantly falls in love with her and he performs brain surgery on her and then ends up marrying her. Like, well, she marries him because, he's a doctor. He's worth a lot of money.
Sure, yeah. And
a big part of the movie is that she just doesn't put out. And he's like, well, she just went through brain surgery. I have to be patient, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, no, she just doesn't want to have sex with him because she knows this is going to like drive him crazy. And anything that she can do to rile him up to hopefully like hasten his demise is like in like that's golden in her book.
Sure.
They go to this convention for brain surgeons in I want to say Austria, and he meets this scientist who's working on this new ability to transfer people's consciousness into new bodies, and he has like all these brains in these various tubes.
Ghost in the Shell, but
they're being preserved.
Yeah,
right. And Steve Martin ends up somehow having this telepathic link with one of the brains, but it happens to be a woman. And he ends up falling in love with this brain. Even because he's like a very superficial person.
Sure.
But he's like, oh, I've actually fallen in love with someone's personality for the first time. Like, this is incredible. And it goes to wacky places from there. It's got some fun moments. It definitely, it didn't hit for me, I think, the way that John was hoping it would. I think if I probably saw it when I was younger, it would have had a different effect. But it's also a very rated R movie. Like, unlike most of Mel Brooks' stuff, like, it's like, oh, it's like a lot of bad language, and there's a lot of sex stuff in here that I wasn't, I mean, it didn't bother me. I was just kind of surprised because like this type of comedy, I don't really associate with that type of material.
Right.
Steve Martin's really good in it because he's Steve Martin. Of course he's good in it. And it does have like some fun, like wacky stuff, but yeah, it was like kind of middle of the road for me ultimately. Like it didn't crack me up the way that I think John was expecting it to.
Got ya.
Where like when we watched Better Off Dead, that ended up like cracking me the fuck up.
Sure.
Like when we were watching that recently.
Yeah.
So
The Stage Select is made possible through the support and funding of viewers like you. Here are our wonderful patrons.
That was a lot of movies.
That was a lot of movies. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we do have some CQC, but before we do that,
All
we
right.
should take a moment to thank our lovely patrons.
Oh yeah, we probably should do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I kind of I was like, we'll just do it after the movie.
Yeah,
It's fine.
fair enough.
It'll
Yeah.
Be, yeah. You never know when the patron thanks is going to happen,
Indeed.
because we appreciate all of our lovely patrons, but every week we like to thank the executive producer tier. And this week we have A Gamer Looks at 40.
We have the Let's Play Princess of Nerds a Broadcast.
We have Exrian.
We have Sound Tracker.
We have 60 Does Stuff.
We have Raymond Crumb.
We have Game Johnson of Retrofits.
We have Dennis Robertson.
Champion. We have Philip P.K. Becker, also champion.
We have Matt Jorgensen of Parental Controls.
We have friend of the show, John Gholson.
We have David Portnov.
We have Dr. Delicious.
We have Xavier of the Parental Controls podcast.
We have Bookie.
We have Casey Curran.
We have Big Baker.
We have Blaine Faya.
We have Andrew Wilson.
We have friend of the show, Schmon Schmolson.
That's Addy.
Yeah.
And last but not least, we have Stephen Lobo. Thank you, everyone, for supporting the show at the executive producer tier. It means a lot, especially right now.
Absolutely.
All right. We do have some comments, questions, or concerns. If you have a comment, question, or concern, there's many ways to get at us. You can email us. The email address is thestageselectpod@gmail.com.
Mhm.
You can comment on the show posts on YouTube, Patreon, or Spotify, or you can join our Discord, and there is a channel for comments, questions, or concerns. We're going to start with a comment over on Spotify, which
Oh boy.
I don't check that very often, so this was actually from a couple weeks ago. My apologies. This was from Orange Cloud 619. This is from episode 107. And they say, now I haven't listened to Retailer Therapy yet, so you may have covered this already, but did you just say that the Game Fellas crew were called Julian, Joe, John, and Jim? And now you work with a Justin? That's like all the J's.
It's a lot of J's.
And yeah, it was me, Julian, Jim, Joe, James,
Mhm.
John Gholson. And then we also had another John that worked there. Oh, we had two other Johns
Oh wow.
that worked there.
It's a lot of
for
Johns.
while.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of J's
A lot of J's.
at Game Fellas.
Yeah.
I don't even know if we ever really acknowledged it at the time.
Probably not. It's one of those things you don't really think about. Yeah.
It wasn't, and then also because Ben, our boss, he would call most of us by our last name. So I was Titus.
See? There you go.
Yeah. Joe was Roysden. Jim was Strong, right? So it was like we didn't, unless we were addressing each other. And when you start to like really know somebody, or you're it's like you rarely call people by their names when you're like familiar with people,
100%.
right? So it just ended up not becoming a thing after time.
Right.
Let's see. So moseying on over to our Discord from Daftman. What about pickles and the morality of the pickling process? Can those people sleep at night?
What about it? What am I
Cucumbers
missing
aren't
here?
alive, so yeah, I think it's fine. I like a
yeah.
pickle.
Yeah. I don't like pickles, actually.
Oh.
Wendy's gave me a bunch of pickles on my sandwich today, actually. I picked them off.
Mm.
Kind of ruins the sandwich, if you ask me.
All right, Dan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
I
it
get
does. It does. It leaves a whole like flavor behind that I'm not a big fan of.
Gotcha.
But I love vinegar. It's weird. I don't know.
Okay, see that? Yeah. All right.
It's
You
weird.
just lost
I love
me.
vinegar. It's great. But I don't like pickles. There's just enough of a weird taste to them that I'm like, nah, not. Honestly, I don't like the texture of pickles. That's my thing.
Okay.
So yeah, that's.
What about a fried pickle? Have you ever tried a fried pickle?
I probably wouldn't like it.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Daftman follows up with what would be more embarrassing to look back on: getting scammed out of a bunch of money at once, or losing money slowly, consistently in a multi-level marketing scheme over time.
Oh,
I think the second one.
You think so?
Yeah.
Depends.
I'm gullible enough to get scammed once,
Sure.
and I'd feel shitty about it, but I think if I like fell prey to just like giving somebody money like for some sort of get rich scheme that never materializes because it was a scam to begin with.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd feel like just the biggest moron.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like anybody who falls victim to that, I have nothing but sympathy for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's super shitty.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you also would feel.
Oh,
or
yeah.
The people who do fall for that, they do feel that, right? It's.
Oh, yeah.
The more modern version now is like people falling for like pump and dump like Bitcoin scams or
Oh, yeah.
certain investment opportunities, right? Like I was listening to I think they're still they might be trying to do another episode, but there's this BBC podcast series called The Missing Crypto Queen about OneCoin and the leader of that crypto coin that was like just fleeced a whole bunch of people and then straight up vanished from everywhere. And yeah, it's a pretty harrowing tale because they talk to a lot of the victims, and like the last couple episodes was them trying to mount some sort of legal fight against like the estate of this person to try to get back at least a little bit of the money. And not only did it not go the way they wanted it to, but they were on the hook for like all of these legal fees that they thought that they weren't going to have to pay. So it was like they got screwed in every possible way.
Yeah,
it was bad.
That's rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, both of them suck. I don't know. Getting scammed over time, yeah, you feel dumb, but at the same time, I guess I think I'd feel a little less bad about it, mostly because it's not all at once. And it feels like it's your own conscious decision. And yeah, it would suck when you put everything together. You'd be like, oh yeah, that sucked, but I should have seen the writing on the wall. And yeah, there is something about feeling stupid. But I think if I lost a bunch of money all at once from like one, big scam, like the devastation of it would hit me a lot harder.
Sure.
And more instantaneously, where it's like, not only do I feel dumb for having this happen, I'm also like completely fucked, where like I feel if it happens over time, like I have at least some time to realize that it happened and I'm fucked.
Yeah.
Whereas like before I even know it, now I'm just fucked,
Right.
So I think to me that seems like it might be worse. Again, neither of them are good, but yeah.
Right. I get that.
Yeah.
Next from San Andreas, what's a paladin?
Well, it's a knight, right? That's really
like
into God.
It's like a holy warrior.
Yeah, like for their God, they have certain tenets,
melee and heal you
and magics. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They have, if it's a D&D paladin, they have like certain tenets and laws that they have to uphold at all times. And they can't break them, or else it's a whole thing. Then you're an oath breaker. You don't want to do that. Although that's sometimes you want to do that because it's fun.
I was hoping that my paladin character on Baldur's Gate 3, like I wanted to see if there would be like any provisions for being a horny paladin, but that game just kind of expects you to be horny no matter what character you're playing. Much. So it didn't really matter, because I wanted there to be like some if I get too horny, do I break my oath? Like what's going on there? And they're like, no, horny's fine. You just don't want
the Dungeons and Dragons gods are pretty fine with it apparently, so don't worry about it.
Some good gods.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
Next from San Andreas, and also we'll end on this, it's our last one, but it's kind of a heady one.
Okay.
San Andreas says, let's say that Ken Kutaragi decides to wash his hands of the video game industry instead of pushing forward with PlayStation, the first PlayStation.
Okay.
Who prevails in the now two-way contest between the Nintendo 64 and the Sega Saturn?
Oh, probably. It'd be the Sega Saturn, or would it have been the? Yeah, I guess it would have been the Saturn. Yeah. I don't know. The Saturn wasn't super great, but at the time, but if that's the only thing you have, if the PlayStation doesn't come out, that's kind of interesting. I don't know. CD-ROM technology was pretty good. I could imagine a lot of things like. There's a lot of other what ifs there too, because it's like, okay, does Square start making Sega Saturn games? Or do
Yeah,
they...
and that's so. I think Nintendo ends up winning pretty handily.
Yeah,
because without PlayStation on the market, you have to remember that the Sega Saturn was a bitch to program for.
That's right.
It couldn't really do 3D very well.
Right.
Like, especially compared to the PlayStation. And so I think what would end up happening is that with Nintendo being a bigger brand name, and you also have to remember that, like, Sega had done a lot of damage to itself with the Sega CD and 32X beforehand.
Yeah, sure.
So there's already, like, they're already on, like, shaky ground with, like, consumers.
Right.
So I think ultimately what ends up happening is most third-party developers end up biting the bullet and going to the N64. And I think you end up with a much more robust library for the N64 than what we ultimately got.
Probably. Yeah.
And I think you do have, like, Square going, they're like, well, we can't do what we wanted to do.
Yeah.
But it makes more sense to do a scaled down version of what we wanted to do here.
Right.
Than tangle with whatever the fuck the Saturn is dealing with.
It's entirely possible. The interesting stuff would have to come after it.
Yes.
Because okay, yeah, you'd have that. I'm gonna guess, yeah, the Nintendo 64 did probably, I mean, essentially just fine in its own right.
Yeah, I mean, of that generation, it was number 2.
Yeah.
So
absolutely. So
yeah. And I think without Sony being the juggernaut that it is, they handily trump the Saturn, like,
for sure,
no contest.
Yeah.
But so my thinking is that, yeah, Nintendo wins, but I extrapolate that forward 30 years, and I'm like, I'm not playing video games anymore, because to me, what happens is Nintendo stays on top through everything, right? Even if Microsoft still comes in with the Xbox, I still think that Nintendo at that point has such a stranglehold that it doesn't matter.
Right.
And I think ultimately, this is going to be a controversial statement, because I know that Nintendo, they do come up with a lot of new ideas and stuff like that, but they iterated in a way in games that I'm not as interested in, where it's like, yeah, they're still just video games, and you're not doing anything deeper with them. So I would end up eventually growing out of them the way that I've grown out of Nintendo for the most part.
Yeah.
And not having those really deep emotional connections to characters or stories that I have with PlayStation and whatnot.
I imagine without that space, it would be a very fast. I mean, all of video games might have, because even when the Dreamcast comes out, I mean, I imagine it would do slightly better without.
I do too.
As the PlayStation 2 there, but
Yeah.
like also they were a lot of Dreamcast games were like, yeah, it's a perfect arcade port. Here you go. And it's like, okay, yeah, but and it's a lot of just video games. I mean, obviously you have Shenmue. Maybe Shenmue's like a really big.
Shenmue's
deal.
like the only one of them
you know
trying
what I mean?
to push like more narrative in their stuff. Yeah,
yeah.
So
And,
I could see Dreamcast lasting through that whole generation instead of dying in under 2 years.
right.
And it's hard to say if
Hard to say
Microsoft
if they
still
keep going.
throws their hat into the ring or not.
That would be interesting. That's interesting actually,
Yeah.
because I could actually see them doing that still, because they'd be like, oh look, there's just a big open space here,
Right.
And then maybe the Xbox is the one that really takes off in some sort of crazy ass way.
Maybe, because
Yeah.
I would also wonder, does Nintendo create a disc-based GameCube for their next machine, because they'd be like, hey, we went with cartridge and we did just fine.
We did just fine. Yeah, I could see them continuing
we'll just
to do
stay
that.
with that.
Yeah,
And so, yeah, maybe it is a thing where, like, maybe it turns into a thing where, yeah, Xbox comes in and actually they become PlayStation,
Right.
Hard to say.
It's a fascinating thought exercise, really, of what ifs that never did happen. But yeah, but here we are.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
And there we go, because I think that's a show, Justin.
I think that's a show, Julian.
Somehow we still managed over 3 hours. With
I don't know. A lot of movies.
A lot of movies. Yeah. There's like, it's going to be like a 50-50 split on the listeners. They're going to be like, man, I really didn't like that it was all those movies. And then some people will be like, man, I really loved that it was all those movies.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
But I'm going to try to play some stuff between now and next week, because it's going to be conceivably our last episode for a while.
There you go.
I mean, possibly. We'll see how I'm feeling, but
Who can
definitely
say?
we'll be missing at least one episode.
Indeed.
But yeah, thanks as always to the wonderful Megan McDuffie for our theme song and interstitial tracks. Thanks to the returning champion friend of the show, John Gholson, for being our announcer and providing us with our logo and artwork. Thanks to you for checking out the show. If you like what you heard and you would like more, please consider joining the Patreon. Link is in the show notes as always. We are going to be recording the Talos Principle for Suffer Select this weekend, and then doing Singing in the Rain for the next Cinemorons next weekend.
Yeah.
Gonna make sure to bust my butt to get that edited and ready to go before I have to go under the knife, so that it'll be there for y'all.
Mm-hmm.
But that's gonna do it for this edition of the Stage Select. I've been Julian Titus. He's been Justin Hamm. We've been the Stage Select. Signing off.
Uh-huh.
The Stage Select is copyrighted and owned by Space Monkey Mafia Productions, specializing in independent podcasting. Please consider sharing the show with your friends and support us by joining our Patreon or donating to our coffee. Thank you, and good night.